Is this thing on? What's going on, full-time family? We're on Black People Time. We are just a little bit late. What is going on? No music to start this video. I didn't even plan on going live tonight. I was just feeling productive. I was off of work and I said, you know what? I already got in my alpha gains. Let's talk some MMA with the full-time family. And one of the things that really spurned it was what you see on your screen. Daniel Cormier on Jon Jones. He said, when you tell a man you're going to kill him, there's no peace. And this isn't so much me wanting to talk about these guys and their personal beef as much as just kind of wanting to talk about the point Daniel Cormier made, saying that there's no peace. Because a lot of you have noticed that I've been on this whole alpha beta kick, and if you've been in the Discord, I've thoroughly explained exactly where I'm coming from, why I'm saying what I'm saying, and I'll continue to say it. But with this topic came the thought, well, you said if someone's not willing to forgive, they're a beta male, correct? So are you saying Daniel Cormier's beta? And my answer is yes. If he truly is not willing to forgive, that's beta! It's got nothing to do with how tough you are, whose ass you can beat. It's all to do with your mindset. And so with that being said, I am going to talk a little bit about Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones and their rivalry, and really Daniel Cormier, because Daniel Cormier has been through a lot of stuff that if you're in a fallen state, you know what I'm saying, if you're a beta male, it'll make you very emotional. But the truth is, through everything you go through everything anybody says to you, there's always peace. If you're an alpha male, with that being said, there's also been some people that say there's no such thing as beta or alpha. Oh man, I got some people. Guys, I used to be a big beta male, so I attracted a lot of beta fans, I'm sure. So this is going to be a big switch up and a rude awakening for a lot of people. I expect some people to jump ship, some people to completely disagree with what I'm saying, especially the betas. But hey, it is what it is, man. I'm speaking my truth. And so with that being said, I completely expect a lot of people initially to disagree with me because this is somewhat new, especially people that were fans of the channel. Like, whoa, this is a huge switch. You're not the same. Sure the fuck ain't. I sure ain't. But it's for the better. So, with that being said, I'm going to pull up the chat for a second. Shout out to Full Time Family, and we're going to continue to talk about some of these topics. And yeah, man, we were going to talk about some Valentina Shevchenko, some Dana White, Chris Cyborg, of course, just a little bit. We're not going to do no gossiping, just talk facts, think a little bit about what's going on in the MMA world, have a little conversation, and then maybe we can get some of you guys on the panel if you guys want to have a good old discussion. So let's pull up the chat, give some shout outs to the family that's already in the building. Dennis Espinoza says betas have to call others' name, like betas. Well, see, I don't really call people specifically beta males, as far as I just point out the beta mindset. You know what I'm saying? If the shoe fits, wear it. I'm not out here saying Daniel Cormier is a beta male. I'm just saying if you truly cannot forgive or find peace, then that is beta. If you think emotionally instead of logically, that's beta. And so with that being said, yeah, I want to play this video for the full-time family and anybody that might be listening. Just a quick explanation. Actually, this isn't even an explanation. This is just something funny. This is what I think of whenever somebody tells me there's no such thing as beta or alpha. I saw this earlier and it made my day. It was so hilarious. All right, so I'm gonna have to start it up here. Here it is. Video play. Just hear me out. Listen to this video. Oh, come on. Don't tell me I can't do it because I'm live. I just watched it before this, man. Literally before this. I'm sure it'll come up. It's loading up. Either way, Daniel Cormier to John Jones. When you tell a man you're going to kill him, there's no peace. Now, between Daniel Cormier and John Jones, while the video plays, I'll just continue to talk a little bit. Oh, it's not working. Okay, well, I'll have to... I can do it another way. I can do it another way. All right, here's how we'll do it. We'll just add a media source. Yeah, guys, we're our own producer. We're our producer, we're the host, we're everything, so bear with me for just a second. Media source, all right, added, boom. You guys will be able to hear this now.
I've never seen a beautiful, feminine man. In what ways?
Just takes care of themselves and likes to look pretty and nice and just likes to take care of themselves and they care about things.
No, a feminine man is a weak man because he's a woman. He's a beta.
No, he's not, Jesse.
Yeah, he's a beta.
No, he's not.
He is a beta.
I can't believe I'm being bullied right now on live on the air.
Are you a beta male?
Is it playing again? Did it already play?
No,
once?
there is no such thing as beta or alpha males.
Weak men are beta.
All right, there it is. There it is. There it is. It went off. Beta male. Yo, you guys, I have been waking up. Man, if you guys have been rocking with me from when we started this channel, you guys know this is a completely different mindset than when I started. And it's a different mindset than a lot of people have. I mean, we've seen it play out, especially in this Dana White, Chris Cyborg whole situation. I mean, Chris Cyborg, if we're being honest and non-biased, Chris Cyborg has been wrong from the very beginning as far as what she's done, as far as negotiations. I mean, there's been a lot of deception and misleading going on, and even before the edited footage, I said, hey guys, this doesn't make sense. If you're thinking about this logically and not emotionally, oh, Dana White's a big bad white mean guy. He's automatically racist, he's white. And he's mean. And he was mean to Cyborg 5 years ago, so he can do no right. And Cyborg can do no... Those people that were emotional, the beta males and Cyborg Nation, they never considered the facts before the edited video. Dana White's automatically wrong. Then the edited video drops. And this is... I'm only pointing this out to show you the mindset a lot of people have. Out of the victim mentality. It's the same thing. Beta! You've got that victim mentality mindset. If you think someone else is holding you back, holding you down, letting that keep making you be lazy at home, oh man, everyone's out to get me. I'm telling you, that is not the way to be. That is beta, man. I had the same mentality. This new mentality, man, it's got me motivated to do everything. Just constantly improve. Whether it's go to the gym, eat healthier, work more. I mean, be a better person just in general. And so with that being said, this is going to be something that is new moving forward. And if you're not with the movement, man, if you're a beta and you can't see where I'm coming from, then hey, man, you know, I wish you the best. I still love you, but this is going to be probably a bumpy ride for you guys. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit of MMA. Let's pull up the chat. I wanted you guys to see that funny video. And now you'll know the voice. Whenever somebody does or says something beta, we got a audio for it. So with that being said, let's pull up the chat. Dennis Espinosa says, if you can define the criteria to fit your definition, then you're pretty much calling them a beta. I see. No, I don't think so. I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it. You know, we don't know if Daniel Cormier is, this is a business. This is a promotion. I mean, there's a lot of things Colby Covington says that make the betas go crazy, but it doesn't mean Colby Covington is actually believes half the shit he says. I mean, there's been a couple times Colby Covington has slipped up recently, talking to a fan when he said it's not what sells. He was a genuine Colby Covington. He was a really good guy talking to a Hispanic fan. No racism, no cringy, trash talk, being rude, being an asshole, none of that. It was a real person that was not trying to sell anything in that moment. And then even after the fight, when he fought Robbie Lawler, as we'll talk about today, he said "I love you" to Robbie Lawler. You know, regardless of everything that happened, they were former teammates, and he said it as in, "Yo, you know, this is just a business type sense, as in this is nothing personal. This is a business. I still love you, brother." That's the real Colby. But the only reason he's doing what he's doing is because he knows it works. The same people that automatically jump the gun and get mad at Colby and want to watch him lose, and they buy into the whole Colby Covington's a big bad mean white guy, make America great Donald Trump. They associate him with racist automatically because they're so emotional. They don't even consider the fact his best friend is Hispanic. They don't consider the fact that this is a business. They automatically go with their emotions. Those are the same people that automatically take Chris Cyborg's side and even defend her wrong actions. After the edited video came out, people called out the fact that it was edited, and people said, "No, it's not edited. It's not edited." I mean, it's Dana White did say that it's not the truth. He did say it's a lie. It wasn't until Chris Cyborg came out and apologized. People said, "Okay, well, it wasn't her that made the video." People keep moving the goalpost. It wasn't Cyborg can't edit videos. And somebody brought up to me, man, this isn't Team Cyborg's first time actually even editing photos or videos in attempt to look better. It was in 2012. Somebody posted this in our Discord earlier. This was how Gina Carano actually looked after the fight, and this is how Team Cyborg posted Gina Carano looked after the fight. I mean, so somebody on Team Cyborg knows how to edit something. She's got a team that can edit something. Joe Sonnen has pointed out in recent videos how Chris Cyborg has been making a lot. She's been getting paid a lot more on the regional scene than any other fighter, really, man or woman, on a regional scene. We're talking when she was, before she fought for the UFC, Chris Cyborg was getting a hefty salary because Lorenzo Fertitta believed in Cyborg. Even if Dana White didn't or whoever didn't, he did. He was the only reason Cyborg honestly has got a lot of the opportunities she's even got in the UFC. Have people ever sat and wondered, if Dana White hates Cyborg as much as we all believe, and Dana White controls everything in the UFC as far as he can control whether or not to re-sign Cyborg, if Dana White is this all-powerful and hates Cyborg, why would he put her on a John Jones pay-per-view? Why would she get good placement on cards? Why would they give her those opportunities? Why would they let her have her own camera crew backstage when nobody else gets that privilege? Cyborg has got a lot of privileges other fighters don't even get. But that doesn't get pointed out because it's not part of the narrative, the Cyborg victim narrative. Oh no, Cyborg didn't edit the video, it's her team. Cyborg goes on and posts a racially insensitive post on Instagram. Oh, she can't speak English that good, but we all know Cyborg's not racist. But 100%, if Dana White, Joe Rogan, Mike Perry, any of these people that get accused of being racist, even though it's 100% not true for any of the three, Mike Perry, Dana White, Joe Rogan, none of them are racist. But it doesn't stop them from getting accused of being racist every fucking day. Doesn't matter how much proof they have that they're not racist, how much they do for black people, how much they admire black people. It doesn't matter. They get called racist every day. So imagine one of them posting that joke, and people are now the next goalpost. Oh, well, Cyborg's from Brazil, so she probably doesn't even know about the black chicken stereotype. People from Ireland know the stereotype. People, Brazilians, Mexicans, people from the UK, people all around the world know the stereotype. People are just making excuse after excuse after excuse for Cyborg to be a victim and Dana White to be a big, bad, mean, white, racist bully, and that's not the truth. That's beta! And so with that being said, Yeah, man, that's my take on it. I think you guys know my take on it, and I just want to see some consistency in it. Well groomed might be what he means. Bob Cratcher says full time's been overdosing on JLP. Have you given up the weed? Are you saying Jesse Lee's silent prayer daily? Give up the pot. Giving up the pot. Actually, I did, but I haven't done everything perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the way. I haven't been like reciting the silent prayer and stuff like that, but I'm definitely waking up on the way. I'm definitely on the path. Can you put the link to that video, says One Way? Are you talking about the one that I played? George Page said Donald Trump done things for blacks, but he still hid his true colors. See, I don't see. That's another thing. People automatically believe everything they hear, like without looking at the facts. I do not believe Donald Trump is a racist, man, and that's a conversation. I mean, my channel's already shadow banned. You know what I'm saying? So it don't stop me from talking about it. But I don't believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? If you when people when they talk about illegal immigration, people make it seem like Donald Trump hates Mexicans. That's not the case, and that's the narrative. So I disagree with that. Dennis Espinosa says there is racism, believe it or not. Hey man, I mean, if you want to let that hold you down, I mean that I don't I wouldn't be some. I'm not going to let some idea that causes separation and a victim mentality hold me back. But if you want to do that, that's on you, man. I'm definitely not going to be a victim my whole life, though. George Page says, "Evening, my hand of the king." In my opinion, if families were intact, fathers were in the home, and honestly, God was brought back into everything, I honestly do believe everything would get better if the importance of family and God was stressed. So that's me. That's my take. It said tacos to my Mexican friends. No one would get a sensitive vagina. 100% they would. If Dana White posted some Taco Bell, if Joe Rogan posted some tacos, if Mike Perry posted some tacos, and they said this is for my Mexican friends, 100% they would be called racist. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's nothing to do with the chicken or the black. It's about being racially insensitive. And I don't care about it. I don't think Chris Cyborg's a racist. I don't think Dana White's a racist. I don't think Joe Rogan's a racist. I don't think Mike Perry's a racist. You have to be consistent, though. You can't call three of these people racist and then give one person a pass because she's not white. That's not fair. If these three people did that exact same thing, you would be calling them racist for the next 5 years. So you can't just give one person a pass. John Taylor says, I agree. If you accept a job, you have to go with the program. Going against Dana isn't smart if you want to work. Stupid post, stupid video, stupid to post a KFC video. Yeah, it's all stupid, stupid, stupid. So at what point is it your fault? At what point do we have to look at your team? At what point do we say, if they're making all these stupid decisions, maybe they're also making stupid business negotiations. Maybe the people making all these stupid decisions are pretty hard to deal with behind the scenes. Maybe Dana White's not lying when he says they don't want the fight. Because that's the only thing people seem to even be able to debate now is whether or not Cyborg wants to fight, but all signs point toward the opposite, her not wanting it. Link, you guys want to have a mother trucking panel? Tay Brown says, good night, everyone. Salute everyone full time. Still got love for you. Still got love for you too, Tay Brown. Oh, Pro Limited. I got love for everybody. Says, keep dripping these red pills full time. Let's go. Hey, man. Red pill activated. Fuck that, man. I'm not with it, man. I always felt like that. I never wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I never felt comfortable being fucking beta, playing the victim. It's just kind of how we're raised, and it's how everybody around you thinks. So you're like, damn, am I wrong for not feeling like this shit? So once you see the fucking truth, it's like, oh yeah, there's my people. Fuck these guys. All these, you know what I'm saying? I'm going home. Cyborg fights like a beta male, says Bob Cratchit, swinging like an out-of-control maniac when she gets touched. Hey, I mean, definitely does fight emotional, but that's also, you know what I'm saying? I like a female, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? She gets emotional, but you can be an alpha female. You can be an alpha female. But it definitely, you know what I'm saying? In order to be alpha, you definitely have to meet the requirements. But yeah, man, if you fight emotional, that's beta. Let's see. Dennis Espinosa says, well, I can't read it because this arrow is in the way, but we got 19 people watching. You guys want to do a panel? We're going to talk about these things. Valentina Shevchenko defending Dana White as a good person in the wake of the Chris Cyborg spat. Wow. This is interesting. This is another one of the female GOATs. And this Valentina Shevchenko is actually friends with Chris Cyborg, training partners. I mean, they're not best friends hanging out, you know, every day, but they have trained together. They are peers. They're both two of the greatest female fighters of all time so far. Of course, there's going to be better and better as the sport of WMMA continues to evolve. But as of right now, Valentina Shevchenko and Chris Cyborg are two of the most revered women's fighters on the planet. Chris Cyborg has her spat going on with Dana White in the UFC. And one thing we all know is, especially in this day and age, usually whenever a woman is claiming victimization, whether, I mean, you know, so a lot of times it's not true, so a lot of times it is true. I'm just saying, anytime that accusation is there, especially in today's day and age, a lot of the times it is met with solidarity. A lot of women will come out and back them up. Hey, I had this issue too. Me too. So if you would expect now, there's more of a spotlight on Dana White than ever. I mean, you got a lot of people out here, the Beta Mob, Cyborg Nation, all of them are out here, want Dana's scalp. I mean, now would be the best time than ever to come out and say, hey, Dana White, you know, especially if it's your friend, to come out and co-sign her, to back her up. Hey, man, it is hard in the UFC sometimes for us women. We don't get a fair shake. You know, whatever it may be that would kind of co-sign your friend and fellow woman fighter. But actually, Valentina Shevchenko's coming out and saying the opposite. She's like, this is her statement. She said, with the situation Chris Cyborg had with Dana White recently, I haven't been paying a lot of attention to what happened between them, but I can say from what I know of Dana White, he's a very good person. He's a very polite and kind person since very early on. He's always been worried about the fighters. If he says, I will take care of you, you can be sure he will take care of you because he's trying to make life for the fighters in the UFC good. He wants UFC fighters to have everything because the UFC is the biggest organization of mixed martial arts in the world. It's not just him, it's everyone involved in the UFC. Their treatment of fighters is unique. I haven't received this treatment in any other organization around the world. This is from another top female fighter around the world, but I know what the betas are going to say. I know exactly how Cyborg Nation is going to defend it, even though another female fighter's coming out and saying Dana White's a good person, great, never been treated better. Valentina Shevchenko has fought all around the world, different organizations, different combat sports, all types of organizations, and she said she's never been treated better. And they're going to say, oh, well, it's because she doesn't want to speak out against her boss. So you're telling me now Valentina Shevchenko is scared for her job, one of the best female fighters on the planet, champion, has leverage. There's nobody that can beat her. There's in the near future in her division. She's got nothing to worry about as far as the UFC, you know, they can't give her bad matchups and make her lose her belt. She's got nothing, no reason to fear the UFC. But people are going to say, oh, well, she doesn't want to speak out against her boss. Well, she could have just came out and said she didn't have to say anything. She didn't have to completely co-sign Dana White in the UFC and give him such a raving review. She made it seem like they're one of the best promotions on the planet to work for. So, let me guess, it's just personal against Chris Cyborg, right? Well, no, because we know Dana White has had personal issues in the past, and he still got business deals done. So, with that being said, I thought it was interesting that Valentina Shevchenko came out and defended Dana White, calling him a good person and all of this in the midst of all of this. So, with that being said, a couple other things I wanted to talk about, and then I'll send out a link and we'll get a panel on here and we'll have some conversations that'll probably get pretty deep. I'm sure we're going to have some beta males in their emotions, you know what I'm saying, trying to debate me and my alpha logic, but we'll see how that goes. Valentina Shevchenko responds to interesting challenge from fellow UFC champion Jessica Andrade. Oh my God, if you guys been listening to this channel, I've been telling you, since before Jessica Andrade fought Rose Namajunas, I predict these things. Since before Jessica Andrade fought Rose Namajunas, I talked about the potential matchup between Jessica Andrade and Valentina Shevchenko. I got the videos to prove it. This was about a year ago. So give it 6 months. Give it 12 months. They'll be fighting. I'm 2 years ahead of these things. Whenever I could just see the potential matchup, and now that it's closer and closer, I'm so excited about it. Jessica Andrade used to fight at 135 pounds. She's a big girl, cut all the way down to 115, fucking killing girls. Dominated every single girl she fought at the weight class except Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and that was only in one fight. Redominated all of the contenders to get to the title shot. Now she's the 115-pound champion, and we know she's big for the weight class. We know she can go up a good 10 pounds, if not 20. So now you got a legitimate world-class 115-pound but bigger champion ready to take on Valentina Shevchenko, who's easily one of the pound-for-pound most skilled female fighters of all time. That's a super fight right there. Shevchenko versus Andrade is a super fight. Of course, I'm picking Shevchenko off the top of my head, but I would love to watch that fight. You talk about all the girls Shevchenko has been fighting so far as a flyweight. I mean, she's fight. You know, it's kind of like the Cyborg effect. She's just literally dominating girls that are not on her level because there's nobody on her level right now in this weight class. So she's just gonna continue to head kick girls like Jessica Ai, brutalize girls like Priscilla Cachoeira, who's she fighting coming up this week. Liz Carmouche. This one will be interesting to see exactly how Valentina Shevchenko wins, because Liz is a pretty strong grappler, so it'll be interesting to see if Valentina pulls off the submission, if she's able to keep the fight standing. I am interested in this matchup. Uh-oh, where's my phone? I hear it. 1 second, guys. I know you hear it. Alright, 1 second, guys. Hello? I'm live. What's up? Alright. Yeah, alright, I did. Alright, love you too, bye. Alright, so yeah, man, I would love to see this fight, Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade made the challenge, and Valentina, she said that she's responded to the challenge. This is what Jessica Andrade had to say. That's the fight I would really like to have. I believe that if I win my next fight, which is my most important fight at the moment, who knows, I might ask for the Shevchenko fight. She's the best flyweight, so it would be a cool test for me. I want to see what level I'm at, if I really have improved, if I defend my title now. I do want to ask for the chance to fight Valentina and become the champion in 2 different weight classes. Shevchenko responded and said, interesting. I haven't heard that yet. Let's see before this move she has to pass her test as well. Let's see what happens after the fight with the Chinese girl, and you never know what's going to happen in the future. Racist! Oh, wait, never mind. The Chinese girl, whoa, we're starting to get a little insensitive there. She's got a name. I'm just kidding. Beta! I'm very happy to be where I'm at now because I was waiting for this moment. Shevchenko said, I was very happy when the UFC decided to create flyweight, and now I'm here. For my plan in the near future is to keep my belt for a long time. I love the fight. I love the call out. I love the response. I can't wait. But both of these ladies have fights coming up. Of course, Valentina Shevchenko is taking on Liz Carmouche tomorrow. And then Jessica Andrade is going to be taking on Weili Zhang in the near future. And if they both win those fights, then we could be looking at a women's champ versus champ super fight. Amanda Nunes, of course, already the first woman to accomplish that feat. But Jessica Andrade could be the next. Ooh, that's gonna be. People already want to see Shevchenko versus Nunes. All right, guys, this is my first time thinking about this. So 2 years, it's gonna happen. It's happening now. I predict these things. Shevchenko versus Nunes 3 is going to happen. It's going to happen. But it's going to be after Shevchenko fights Jessica Andrade. Because it's going to be like champ versus champ. And then whoever wins goes up to fight the big double champ at 135, Amanda Nunes. That's just all type of fucking high-level world caliber class champion fighters going on. Jessica Andrade versus Shevchenko. Shevchenko, if she wins, goes from beating that champion in another weight class right into fighting Amanda Nunes back at 135. Oh, shit, we got something going on. Valentina will not be the first 3-belt champion. The only way that could happen, actually, is if it was Jessica Andrade. Because if Valentina beats Jessica Andrade, she won't win her belt. Jessica's going up to challenge Valentina. So if Jessica won, she would be a double champ going up to fight the double champ, and that would be fucking crazy. But if Valentina wins, then it would be Valentina going up. But man, you just made me think, because if Jessica Andrade beat Valentina, that would be double champ versus double champ. That would be, oh my God, in Brazil, Jessica Andrade, if she beat Valentina Shevchenko, double champ, one of the best fighters in the world, used to fight at 135. That would be a serious lesbian super fight right there, guys. Andrade versus Nunes, double champ versus double champ. Scissor me timbers. Holy smokes. John Taylor says, I don't see her path to beat the bullet. Hey, man. Be surprised. I mean, anything can happen. Anything can happen. I mean, with age, Jessica Andrade is still young. How old is Shevchenko compared to Andrade? Let's look that up. I know Jessica Andrade is only like 27, 28. Valentina Shevchenko topology. Let's see. She is 31. Let's see. Yeah, her age isn't going to catch up to her in time for that. So, I mean, Jessica Andrade, though, she is a really good fighter. I mean, don't think she hasn't been improving. Her last loss was to Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She'll get a little bit of size back. I mean, Valentina doesn't have any real holes in her game, but there's a path to victory for Amanda Nunes. You know what I'm saying? We know you can beat her via decision if you can keep her honest throughout the fight, if you can be more active than her. I mean, if you can score a takedown in the final frame, she can be beaten. We've seen Amanda Nunes do it twice. So it's possible. And we see crazy things happen every day in MMA, every day. That's very possible. If we went to a decision, slam, of course we don't. Knockout, what the fuck? We know Jessica Andrade, if she catches any female, she's putting them down. It don't matter how tough you are. You ain't eating the Jessica Andrade bomb on the chin and fucking not right on the button and living to the next round. I mean, Valentina, of course, is going to have to not make a mistake in there. I'm just saying, man, that would be insane. Double champ versus double champ. And she used to fight at 135 already. Jessica Andrade fighting to try and become the first 3-weight champion in a division she's already fought at. Yikes. We got some action on our hands, boys. Yeah, you got some action. So yeah, man, I can't wait to, if this is the path we're gonna go, I can't wait. Andrade versus Shevchenko, winner fights Nunes. Let's fucking go. And those are clearly the 3 best women's fighters in the UFC, 100%. Kamaru Usman says Colby Covington blurs the lines from entertainment to personal. Beta! If the shoe fits, wear it. That's anybody. I mean, if you get offended from Colby Covington's words, if you get emotional over it, let it cloud your judgment. Make dumb decisions. You know what I'm saying? Get angry. I mean, that's beta. But with Colby Covington, as I said, I know it's not him. I mean, he's doing it because he believes that's what sells. I mean, he's literally has a career goal of one day fighting in the UFC. That's his plans. Before he went on any of this title run, anything, he had a goal of wanting to be a UFC champion and WWE champion. 100%. Years ago, he wanted to use this to get to the WWE. And I think he's doing great if you take all things considered. People are, even though in the beginning he didn't have the whole shtick down, it seemed a little forced. It still does a little bit, but it's getting better. It's getting better. He's getting more people riled up, more people emotional, more of the beta wave mad with every single statement. I mean, he really turned up the heat over the weekend. He went from fighting Robbie Lawler to the Matt Hughes comments right into getting banned off Miesha Tate's radio show. So Colby Covington's out here. He's really offending people, man. And it wasn't even Miesha Tate that got him banned, I don't believe. I believe it was some beta male that worked with her. Some, white knight. Leave Miesha alone! Miesha was probably like, I don't give a fuck about those pictures. Like, what are you talking about? You know how many dudes want to see those pics? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't intentional, you asshole. I think you could be a better person. That's my take. Miesha Tate's probably more alpha than the fucking dude that banned Colby. Kenshiro Ryu says, is it me or is the homie's mic coming in a little bit low? It might be coming in low. Let me try and fix it. It's probably not you. It does it randomly on my computer. Alright, there we go. I should be a lot louder now. But yeah, man. Lesbian! That's T-Bone MMA. Lesbian! Yeah, it was low. My computer's fucking malfunctioned. I'll fix it, though. I fixed it. It does it by itself, so I don't even have a warning. I don't know when it does it. Someone just has to let me know, hey, you're low, and I gotta go turn it back up. J Skillz says, Alpha Loud now, full time. You're blurring the lines between entertainment and personal. I don't think so. I do not think so. But Kamaru Usman does think Colby Covington is. He says, so this is the thing I don't understand. And this is in an interview with Chael Sonnen. And this is what's interesting. So Chael Sonnen did a video on the whole Colby Covington's Matt Hughes comments about the train tracks. And a lot of people were like, oh my God. He just said something about Matt Hughes who got in a train accident. Or it was on the train tracks. Emotional. And Chael Sonnen said, you guys got to think about this. Colby Covington's manager, the guy that owns American Top Team, is Dan Lambert. That's Colby Covington's manager. He's a big fan of professional wrestling, got a big, you know what I'm saying, fight team, American Top Team, a lot of the best fighters in the world, and he also really is interested in professional wrestling. And so this is Colby Covington's manager, but this guy is also really good friends with Matt Hughes. That's one of his really good friends. So do you think Colby Covington's manager, who honestly I believe is responsible for probably all of Colby Covington's good lines, Colby probably comes up with the bad ones himself, but where he gets a lot of the ideas for the stuff he says, I'm sure is his manager and his team. So do you think that they would not approve? You think he would attack one of his manager's good friends? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So Chael kind of pulled back the curtain a little bit and let us know, hey, maybe he got the okay. And also it kind of, the evidence to that point came out when he said Matt Hughes responded a day later like, hey man, I didn't take it personally. You know what I'm saying? So Chael brought up the point, hey, maybe somebody tipped Matt Hughes off before that was said. And I'm kind of with Chael on that one. I 100% believe that's what happened. But hey, doesn't Dan own ATT? Says J Skillz. Yes, sir. Somebody said, is Masvidal, Bedina said, is Masvidal beta too? Hey, man, if the shoe fits, wear it. Any man that allows emotion to cloud his judgment and makes him not think logically is beta. Any man who gets angry, who doesn't have peace, that's beta. If you don't forgive, that's beta. So if Masvidal gets emotional about words, if he's in a fallen state, he's very likely fits that beta category. I mean, it's not a personal thing. It's a if the shoe fits, wear it. But yeah, so Kamaru Usman says, this is the thing I don't understand. I understand what he's doing. I get it, and I appreciate it. As much as I don't like him, I appreciate what he's doing. But the problem is, now you blur those lines. Because if I actually watch the fight, you watch what happened at the end. Yeah, he talked all of that about Robbie and this and that, basically trying to sell the fight. I get that. But then after the fight, you're shaking hands, and if you actually watch him say it, he says, I love you, man. Basically stating that I want you to understand that I'm just selling this fight here. It's no hard feelings. He says, I get that, but then you get back on the mic and you say something personal as that blurs all the lines from entertainment to personal, because that is personal. I'm pretty sure that's not something Matt Hughes would say. Hey, yeah, go ahead and use that. That's fine. Talk about that. Well, that's where Kamaru Usman, I think, and Chael Sonnen thinks is wrong. It actually is a good reason to believe that he was fine with him saying that. And so, with that being said, I'm not going to go too much farther into that. We pretty much covered it already. But yeah, man, I just got to fucking, just reading that, I'm going to be honest, just reading that whole last sentence just felt extremely beta. That whole last paragraph, I get that. But then you get back on the mic and you say something as personal as that. That blurs the lines from entertainment to personal, from personal to entertainment to personal, and you're blurring the lines of beta! And he's just talking, man. He said he's selling the fight. We know what it is. If you truly believe what he's saying, oh well. Don't let it affect you. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, even if Colby Covington believed everything that he said, even if he believed Brazilians were filthy animals, even if he believed Matt Hughes should have got off the tracks, whatever, even if he believed what he said about Robbie, what else has he said that's bad? Even if Colby Covington believed all the shit that he says that people don't like, you shouldn't hate him. You shouldn't get emotional about anything Colby says. You should not hate him. So it really doesn't matter if it's personal or anything. That's beta! If you let it cloud. When you're in a fight, are you going to fight him any different because of what he said? When you're defending yourself against this man? Oh, Colby said this, so I'll take it a little easier on him. No, so you shouldn't. So, I mean, to me, Colby Covington, I honestly actually really like him now, especially after seeing the video of him talking to that fan, and he was completely out of character. So I know it's an act. But even if some people are like, oh, even if it's an act, he's crossing the lines. Beta! So we'll move on from that, though. I know some people, let's be honest, T-Bone MMA, that's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a great fight, and that's what matters. The styles, both of them really good wrestlers. I believe Kamaru Usman has the striking advantage, even though some people, bought into Colby Covington's last fight and said, oh man, he's turned into one of the best strikers in the UFC now. I like what Mike Perry had to say. He said, man, if I hit somebody with 600 punches in the fight, that would be the first death in the UFC. 100%, man. Fucking love Mike Perry. That's my nigga! Beta! Leon Edwards says Jorge Masvidal turned down the fight with him after the UFC offered it. Yeah, because it's not logical for Masvidal to take the fight. It makes zero sense for Masvidal to take this fight unless he's a dummy. And anybody that thinks Masvidal should take this fight with Leon Edwards is also a dummy. And as far as UFC contracts are concerned, I'm saying you don't know about leverage, negotiations. You don't know. There's so much information you don't have if you believe that it would be smart for Masvidal to take this fight. You don't know the fights he's already been. This is the same story. They said he was scared to fight. At first, they said he was scared to fight Askren. Exact same thing. He was coming off of a performance. He was trying to get back on the winning track. He had just knocked out Darren Till. He was trying to capitalize off his momentum. And they said, oh, you're scared to fight Askren. Askren even said it. Oh, Jorge Masvidal's scared to fight me. He knows I'm going to wrestle him, blah, blah, blah. Everybody said the exact same thing to try and make Masvidal emotional. They're trying to get Jorge Masvidal emotional so he'll make a bad decision. Because whenever you get emotional, like a beta male, you make bad decisions. And that's why it's so fucking beta. You shouldn't let emotion cloud your judgment. You make bad decisions. You need to be able to lead and always be logical and think clearly. And so, whenever you tell somebody that's got an ego like Masvidal or especially just any fighter, hey man, you're scared. A lot of times, they do that because they know fighters will say, oh, I'm not scared. I don't want people to think I'm scared. Let me sign on the dotted line. Let me let you take advantage of me. Capitalize off of my momentum. Let me let you sign away all of my leverage. Because you've convinced the fans I'm scared, and the media's convinced the fans I'm scared, so let me go ahead and give in and make a bad decision. No, fuck that. Masvidal is not... did he turn down a fight? If he did, just like people say about Cyborg, it wasn't him, it was his manager. It was Masvidal's manager. His manager's actually responsible for getting him fights and negotiating with the UFC. So his manager's responsible for leveraging Masvidal's momentum. And if you know anything about leverage or momentum, then you would know it makes zero sense for Masvidal to take this fight right now. I would love to see Leon Edwards versus Jorge Masvidal, but not right now. Masvidal needs to renegotiate his contract or get a title shot before he takes this fight. Because even if he beats Leon Edwards, if it's a split decision, if it's a lackluster performance, he'll lose momentum. He's red hot right now. There's not much of a way to top his organic momentum. He's coming off of the fastest knockout in UFC history. That's the record books. We don't know when we're ever going to see that broken. And people want him to fight some fucking contender that was just ranked 12 before his last fight? Yeah, you don't know anything about this business. That's just not... No, that would be really... If Masvidal's his manager, anybody agreed to this fight, they would be as clueless as the fans that think he should take this fight. CSH Combat Sports in the building! We definitely got to get a panel going. Coach says Pam Sorensen, the one who Dana says isn't good, is the new Invicta champion. Hey, I mean, you can be the Invicta champion, but that doesn't mean you're going to be a world-class fighter. You know what I'm saying, Coach? I mean, there's no competition as far as world-class for her to compete against. She's not fighting against Amanda Nunes's, Shevchenko's, Juliana Pena's. She's not fighting against the Holly Holmes of the world. She's not fighting against any of these legit battle-tested girls. I mean, I don't know much. What's her name? I'm going to pull her up. I'll pull up her record. Pam Sorensen. Pam Sorensen Tapology. Pam Sorensen is 8-3, 33 years old. She just beat a girl that is 10-9? This girl, Caitlin Young, is booty cheeks. She's 10-10. That's a 500 record. That's like Artem Lobov. So see, when you're not fighting girls anywhere near. You can't be fighting girls like this and then come to the UFC and compete. Cyborg, Nunes, they all smoke these girls. It's not even close. I mean, this girl is losing to fighters that are 3-4. Like, this girl, Caitlin Young, is what they would call a can in Alpha Land. Felicia Spencer, she fought. I mean, look at the girl. Look at this girl, 11-12. This girl had a losing record, and she fought her to a split decision. Oh, my God. This is atrocious. Yeah, man, this girl's got no business being mentioned in the with the UFC fighters. Honestly, if we're being unbiased, this is atrocious. 10-9, 11-12. Whew. Don't have to be a good fighter to recognize bad character anyway. I hear you. But yeah, man. See, like, a lot of if you're not beating the highest level competition before the UFC, we don't have any reason to believe you can once you get there. And I see Coach, you're saying that Caitlin's actually a good fighter. What'd you say? Young is actually good. I mean, man, she's good compared to, like, you know what I'm saying, amateurs and girls that are fighting on the streets and, World Star videos and stuff like that. But when it comes to, like, the highest level of mixed martial arts, I mean, I don't know, man. She hasn't really beat anybody. She beat Reina Murrr. That's King Reina, right? That's her most impressive win. King Reina. Oh, that's like King Henry Cejudo over here. Who's King Reina fighting? See, King Reina's not beating anybody, though. King Reina's she's literally, King Reina isn't fighting anybody that's ever won a fight. Look, King Reina fought a girl 0-1, 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, 0-0. She's fighting girls that are literally coming off the streets. So none of these girls are anywhere near the level of Amanda Nunes. Not even close. These girls aren't even near the level of Holly Holm. I mean, pretty much every bantamweight in the UFC, I think, would beat all of these girls. Every single ranked bantamweight. Just off the level of competition they've fought up until now. Because you got to think, there's Bellator signing women's fighters, there's PFL signing women's fighters, there's Risen signing women's fighters, there's UFC signing women's fighters now. There's a lot of people taken away from the Invicta talent pool, so there's not a lot of really good competition. Records don't tell the whole story, but they tell a big part of the story. And it's not just the record, it's about your opponent's level of competition. You know what I'm saying? Boxers, a lot of boxers, that's how they build their record. They fight guys that are 5-4. They fight guys that are, you know what I'm saying, 0-0, 2-2, 5-7. They fight people with losing records to build their record. And that's how they end up with, oh, well, look at this guy, he's 33-1. And boxing gets a bunch of them because they're all fighting people that are not on their competition. Now, once they get to the highest level, you know what I'm saying, of course there's spectacle. Oh, we never know. They can win. You know, they're here now. They've been growing the whole time. But it doesn't take away from the fact that they weren't fighting very good competition. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you're never going to be able to sell Caitlin Young, a 10-10 fighter, to the UFC. That'll never happen. Especially at 33 years old. That's just not, you know what I'm saying? Bob Cratchit says, despite being 2-5 in her last 7, Holly and 5 is 12-5 overall, still fighting absolute best of best. 100%. Some people believe, and see, that's why I don't understand, Coach. You said you don't believe Holly Holm is great, but then you say people like Caitlin Young is good. Like Holly Holm, what? I think Holly Holm would destroy Caitlin Young. She's just been fighting way higher level. I don't even think that it would be sanctioned. I don't, man. Yeah, I don't even think that fight would be sanctioned, honestly. Holly Holm versus a girl that's 10-10. You know what I'm saying? But hey, to each their own. I mean, we can hop on a panel. That's what I'll put the link out there. Let's get on a panel if you guys want to hop on, because yeah, man, that's there's not really no, you know, because who are they? They're not. It's not like they lost to Amanda Nunes, then they lost to Chris Cyborg, then they lost to Holly Holm, then they lost to Kayla Harrison, then they lost to Caitlin Vieira, like the best of the best. These girls are losing to other girls that are not good. So let's go to Google Hangouts, and we'll get this show on the road. Google Hangouts video call. Sending the link. I'm putting the link in the Discord. For those of you first, if you are in the Discord, you will be able to join Discord. Open up. Here's the link. Yeah. All right, there's the link over on the Discord. For anybody that wants to join and talk some... I don't even know how we got to this topic, honestly. How the hell did we end up on Pam Sorensen and Caitlin Young? What's going on, Dennis? Coming in a little low on my end. I'll put in both headphones so I can hear you a little better. All right, we got Dennis Espinosa in the building. Oh, Coach, you're not on Discord yet, so I'll have to post the link in the chat for you. Hopefully we don't get any trolls in here. And if we do, hopefully you guys can handle the heat. Here we go. Kenshiro Ryu Dojo says, Valentina beat Nunes in their second fight. To be fair, I disagree with that. 50% of the fans would say so too. Some judges' rivalry. But yeah, that's 50% of the biased fans. I mean, Amanda Nunes has never been a fan favorite. Nobody's really... Valentina Shevchenko has never got hate. Amanda Nunes knocked out a lot of people's favorite fighters like Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey. So, I mean, we saw in Amanda Nunes' most recent fight, they were cheering, Holly, Holly. All of those fans that automatically cheer against Amanda Nunes automatically are going to say Valentina Shevchenko won the fight. It's got nothing to do with who actually won. Well, we know who actually won the fight. That was Amanda Nunes. But, I mean, yeah, Amanda Nunes won both of those fights, in my opinion. John Taylor in the building says, man, I watched some 6-year-olds fighting Muay Thai in the Muay Thai ring. They had better striking and footwork than a bunch of the UFC fighters. Funniest thing I've seen in a while. And now, so take that and compare it to, you know what I'm saying, women's MMA fighters that are like 10-10. You know, and like fighting to split decisions with newcomers. Like, it's WMMA still got a little bit of a ways to go, but this is how it happens. This is where it all starts. It's still evolving. There's just girls like Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko that are way ahead of the curve. Amanda Nunes specifically because she actually trains with a lot of the best fighters in the world. Whoa! The Rejected Prophet video series, Dennis Espinosa just switched up the Okay, you took a picture of. Okay, I see what's going on. Dennis Espinoza, you playing the harmonica back there?
I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, yeah, I heard you play the harmonica, man. Was that you?
I'm learning
Oh,
harmonica.
okay, okay. Beta. No, I'm just playing, dude. I'm just playing. Kichiru Dojo, 100% Valentina won that. No. Her nose was rose from my punches. He says, Amanda got a takedown in the 5th round, and people thought Valentina would win from her cardio. So, Stamina says the thing is,
Right.
if Vishev won that fight, a similarly small number of people, perhaps not the same ones, would be saying they didn't like the decision. Same shit. F that fight, 2019. I agree, but only because Nunes was the champion and people feel like she won the 5th round. I think if people thought Valentina Shevchenko really won that 5th round, they would have made more of a fuss about it. But Nunes being the champion and winning the 5th round is what I think solidified it in most fans' eyes, even the ones that don't like Nunes.
You know I made a fuss about it. Come on, man.
Yeah, Coach. I know you definitely you had Nunes winning both fights, right?
Nah, I had Valentina winning the second fight. I had Nunes decisively winning the first fight, 2 rounds to 1. Because you can't dispute the first fight, man. It wasn't even close. Valentina won 1 round, but in the second fight, I feel like Valentina did a better job of actually counter striking and actually making Nunes change up her whole game plan. I thought Valentina won it 3-2, but you know, it's in the record books now, man. It's done. It's
Yeah,
over.
see, for me, a big part of the narrative going into the fight was a lot of people thought that since it was 5 rounds and it was the rematch, even Valentina, she was like, "This time it shall be done." To me, it reminded me a lot of the Tyron Woodley versus Wonderboy rematch, where if you're the person who lost the first fight and you're getting a second opportunity, now's your time to really win the fight. You got to put a stamp on it. You've got to win the fight. You can't coast to a judge's decision and hope that they give it to you. And so to me, the narrative of Amanda Nunes, people not thinking that she had good cardio, people thinking she couldn't make it 5 rounds, and that would be, that was the only reason Valentina lost the first fight is because the cardio. But if there was 2 more rounds, she would have won. People gave her that excuse in the first fight of that's the only reason she lost. So coming into the second fight, the fact that Amanda Nunes was able to not only last longer than everyone expected, she won the rounds people didn't expect. In the 5th round specifically, she was able to win that round. So I had that fight for Nunes.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of hard for Nunes to take it because I felt like though you got to decisively beat the champion, and I
Yeah.
think that you gotta win at least. I mean, me personally, 4 rounds. Because even if the fight is close, man, the champions normally get the nod, man. They normally get that. But
Mm-hmm.
I saw Valentina doing more, man. Amanda was just, I don't know, man. She wasn't really. She just she didn't like them counters, man. She hated them, and she didn't want to get taken down either. Because in the first fight, Valentina was able to get those trips in the 3rd round, and Amanda was like she was cautious as hell, man. And I think Amanda knew that if the fight went to the ground, she would have been like, oh, I can lose this on the cards. So yeah, and that's what a real martial artist do though, man. They got to change it up, and Amanda got like a plan, a B plan, and a C plan.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I
Okay,
mean,
Coach.
it was a close fight, so I'm not gonna argue if somebody say, well, I think Nunes
Yeah.
won, but I think Valentina won it, but what am I gonna argue?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fight was
Yeah,
that damn
it
close.
was close, and she was the champ, like you said. So I completely get that. I was gonna say, I don't know how long you've been listening, but I wanted to ask you one thing about Jessica Andrade, because she's talked about if she can beat Wei Li Zhang, and Valentina, of course, if she can beat Liz Carmouche tomorrow, then Jessica Andrade just talked about potentially wanting to challenge Valentina Shevchenko. And so my thoughts were, I'm already fast forwarding that both of these girls have fights coming up, and then that fight would have to be made. So they both have to win these fights. But I'm saying the winner of Jessica Andrade versus Valentina Shevchenko would be, I think that would be the perfect time for that person to fight Nunes. And my first thought was, okay, most likely Valentina Shevchenko beats Jessica Andrade. I think we would all agree there. And so that's when Shevchenko versus Nunes 3 would happen. But then I thought, man, how crazy would it be if Jessica Andrade could pull off the miracle against Shevchenko and become a double champion? Then it would be Andrade versus Nunes, double champ versus double champ, fighting at 135 at a weight class Jessica Andrade has already fought at before, and she would be fighting to become a triple champion. That would be a huge fight. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately for Jessica, she fought Nunes. I think Jessica be laid out, man, because she about damn near got stopped by Rose, man. Like Rose is gonna stop her, man. If Jessica would have not got that body slam, Rose is on the way to stopping her, man. Because she was eating some shots, man, and she was slowing down. And I'm like, damn, Jessica might damn get stopped, But Jessica too sloppy, man. It's just she got that one hitter quitter. Like it's there, but it's like when it's different when you fighting like Joanna and Valentina, whereas maybe you fighting Rose won't be as defensively responsible as Joanna and Valentina. It's kind of crazy that I'm saying Joanna is defensively responsible when she fought like shit against Rose, but somebody like Jessica, man, she can't stand with them, man. And see, Joanna and Valentina, they takedown defenses pretty good. So they're not gonna get hoisted. Well, Valentina's not gonna get hoisted up in the air. Okay, she's gonna transition into a Muay Thai clinch, or she's gonna circle away, or she's gonna do a Astagari and take Jessica off her feet. That's what the hell gonna happen. I think it's a real bad matchup for Jessica, and I think that she better worry about Willie Zhang, Zhang, because that Willie Zhang is big, man. That's a big straw weight, and I see him side by side. I'm like, shit. You know what? Jessica might lose this fight. Like it's a chance Jessica could lose to Willie Zhang, man. And what was she on, like a 19 fight win streak now?
Weili
Like,
Zhang? Yeah, I think
yeah,
so. Didn't she like only lose her first fight, and she's won every fight since then?
yeah, man, something ridiculous, man. So I don't know, man.
I mean,
I
she's
came to
low key though, man, because she's on that crazy winning streak, and I feel like she should already be a bigger name by now. Because honestly, when she got announced to fight Jessica Andrade, it was kind of out of nowhere for me. Like I had heard her name, but I had no clue she was this close to a title shot. So I was a little surprised that her fights have been going a little low key because she's already got 3-4 good wins in the UFC, but
yeah,
she's just kind of been going under the radar.
that Tisha Torres win was her biggest win, and I think that it was a good win, man. But I still don't think that she deserved a title shot, but they got to put it in Asia. And how's it gonna look? The main event, I get it. You got to have an Asian in Asia to make it a draw, so the Asians can cheer for the Asian. I mean, we pretty much know what it is. If Tatiana Suarez wouldn't have been hurt, I would have liked to see Tatiana Suarez get that shot. But hey, man, I think Willie John, I think Jessica underestimating her, man, and Jessica might get in here and get her ass whooped, man, because she think about Valentina. I'm like, you got to let Valentina go, because Valentina will whoop your ass too. And I don't think she understands what's going down. That rushing in and trying to like grab Valentina, said it don't work, man. Everybody that's tried to do that, man, they get hurt. Like Jessica, I tried to do it. She tried to rush in, and of course. And I was going to ask you about this too, full time. How Amanda was giving Jessica this advice, and I'm like, why the fuck would Amanda give Jessica any good advice? Because if Jessica beats Valentina, that's taking money out of her pocket. So she don't give you no good advice. She don't give you shit, So she told Jessica to rush her, and guess what happened? She got knocked out. Joanna tried to rush her. She got pieced up. Priscilla Cachoeira tried to put that pressure on her. She was in a bloodbath. And so, Liz Carmouche's going to try to do the exact same thing. Jessica going to try to do the same thing. Amanda Nunes was the only one smart enough to know don't rush her. Because if you do, you're going to get caught.
Yeah. That's funny you say that because I thought you were gonna, when you said that, it made me think of Cyborg and Shevchenko. It's funny because I almost thought you were gonna go there, and I was like, wait, coach ain't gonna say this, but I was thinking before Cyborg fought Nunes, she was training with Shevchenko, and I was kind of thinking the same thing, like, wait, Nunes beat Shevchenko twice. What's she gonna show you? You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like a business tip. I was just kind of thinking as far as the fight
Yeah.
is concerned.
She
But
told
I gotta
Jessica.
get your thoughts on this. Does Waters, and I want Dennis's thoughts on this as well. Does Waterson have a chance against Joanna?
A small chance, but
Submission chance?
yeah, she got a submission chance if she can get Joanna to the ground. But see, that's easier said than done, man. Joanna got some of the best takedown defense in the strawweight division. It's good. And when she's taken down, Jessica picked up and put her down, but Joanna got that ability to scramble, and so she can get back up to her feet and actually, use the cage to her advantage. And if you're a wrestler and you can't take somebody down and you pin them against the cage, you can't do that shit for 5 rounds. You can't do it for 3 rounds. You're gonna get tired, and then you're gonna have to stand. So I think this is where Michelle Waterson luck run out, and I think she's gonna get pieced up. She's gonna try to box with Joanna. That ain't gonna work. Joanna gonna beat the shit out of her. And yeah, that Jackson Winkle John curse is real.
The Jackson Winkle John Curse. Dennis Espinosa, what are your thoughts on Joanna and Jacek versus Michelle Waterson?
John has it fairly. She don't have too much of a problem.
Okay, pretty much. I think that's I'm with you guys on that. Of course, I mean Joanna the favorite.
I didn't
Waterson,
need to straight
I
the
mean,
other
yeah.
one,
For Waterson to win this fight, man, yeah, it's gonna take. I mean, how does she even get the fight to the ground? It's definitely a tough matchup for Michelle Waterson. Honestly, she could be fighting at 105 pounds, but she's somebody that's just been able to kind of overperform at 115 pounds, even in the UFC with a lot more of the talented fighters. But yeah, man, it's an interesting matchup because for it's at strawweight, so it'll be interesting to see Joanna make the weight again and get back in line for the title because we know she's got, of course, the win over Jessica Andrade. So she's probably looking at her chops like, oh, I can finally get my belt back. Rose isn't the champion anymore. And so this will be a good win to see if she can make the weight and get herself back in the conversation, get another win, because I'm sure people don't want to see her in another title shot immediately. So with that being said, Coach, of course, man, this whole Dana White Cyborg situation that's been going down, man, you're one of the first people I think of every single time something new happens. I'm like, oh, what is Coach going to say about this? Because I know you are one of the captains of Cyborg Nation. You're loyal to the soil. You've interviewed Cyborg. You've got great interviews with her, and you're close with her team. So I'm always interested in hearing your take on this because I want to hear Cyborg Nation's take. Because me personally, I don't know if you do, maybe you do by now. I have been on the side of the business sense. What made the most business sense to me, I haven't been believing, the narrative of Dana White versus Cyborg, at least the narrative that's been playing out. But I do understand loyalty, I do understand bias, and so I'm always looking forward to hearing your takes on all of these topics. So I gotta ask, what is your thoughts on Valentina Shevchenko defending Dana White or calling him a good person with the media today and talking about how her treatment with the UFC has been better than any treatment she's personally ever had in any other organization around the world?
Well, you gotta look at Dana White and Valentina Shevchenko. See, Valentina, she's one of those people, man. She really hard to say stuff about because she's that person, man, that she's gonna go out and she's gonna give it 100%. But it's really tough too because I keep telling people that Valentina, and I've had 3 conversations with Valentina, and Valentina really don't have a grasp of English, so he can shit talk all he want to, or he can say most of it. She'll get the gist of it, but she's not gonna give a shit. She's not gonna even respond to him. So
Alpha female.
yeah, I mean, she's not gonna respond to him, or she do, she'll say something politically correct. Like she's not gonna say, "Well, fuck you, Dana White." She's just gonna, just blow it off and keep doing what she's doing because she don't really care. Um, with Cyborg, this whole thing, I think if Dana White liked you, it's a good environment. Like that's how I see it. If he really likes you, it's a good environment. I mean, we know the relationship he had with Ronda Rousey. Hell, he let Ronda Rousey skip a whole media day. Now, when the hell have Dana White ever done that? I mean, he let Ronda completely skip media day, no interviews, no nothing. And
Masvidal recently, but I mean
okay,
this is after the fact, of course.
it's tough, man. It's tough to get him to do that. But hell, he bend it. It's almost like, well, damn, what is he doing, man? Does he have Ronda bent over in the office? That's a subject for another video, bro. Subject.
Eskimo Bros with hey man, it's
But
out there. Some people wonder.
but this whole thing, man, I think they both. I think though, you see, people, that video that they put out is good and bad. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it's good, and I'm gonna tell you why it's bad. The doctor video. The
Uh-huh.
fir- Okay, the good part about it is, since that video came out, it went viral, and that video has helped make this fight even more attractive now. So the Nunes fight is more attractive, and I'm sitting here thinking, now wait a minute, man. It's been people that's done said a whole lot of shit about Dana White. I'm talking about worse than what Cyborg said, and I'm like, he got triggered over a video with captions. I said, damn, Dana White must be getting soft over all these years.
Beta male.
But then when he starts saying, wait a minute, if Chris calls me today, well, this fight can get made. I said, oh, whoa, hold on. So maybe Dana knows that this fight is actually bigger than what he's trying to tell us. Because I'm thinking, damn, the video, man, somebody on her team doing some fucking up. And I'm like, damn, who is putting these videos up? Who is doing this?
It's a
Because
great question.
they messing up her brand. Who is doing this? And so, but then, when I'm listening to Dana, the video may have backfired and maybe made the fight bigger. But the bad thing about it is, man, is it's like playing Russian roulette.
Mm-hmm.
When you put stuff up, man, and I realized it was somebody on that team, but you're still responsible. You're still responsible for your team. So when you put that stuff up, you're giving people an opportunity to just say, okay, see, Cyborg, you're a brutal person. Even though you had people like some people. Who was that told Dana White, fuck Dana White? I can't remember who said it, man. Somebody said it.
I know Mark Hunt cussed him out with some real good
Yeah.
times. He gave him some real good verbal spars in the media. He's all type of.
And it's funny, man, but with this, it just seemed like it's really deep rooted personal, man, like really personal. And so, and he even said, you know what? And this the funny part for Dana White even said, hey, we'll even give her a 1-fight deal if she called me. I'm like, oh shit. Because he was dead set against the 1-fight deal. He was like, oh hell no. Because I figure he a promoter, he want to maximize his money. I get that part. That part, okay, yeah, who gonna sign somebody to a 1-fight deal? It's stupid, But he said, okay, we'll do it. So I'm like, okay. I think they both, and I'm looking at this whole thing, I'm like, I think they both doing some wrong, man. I think Dana White, I think Chris Cyborg want this fight, but I think he want to maximize the money, man. Dana White want to get paid. Like, he want to make as much money as he can. So to have Chris fight for 1 fight, you can't make a lot. You can make money, but nah, because he want to keep on, using that brand to make some money. Well, you doing that though, and you downplaying, you saying she's scared, which I don't know how she's scared because she's sitting there. She had a t-shirt on at the end of the fight, and they made her take the damn t-shirt off. They went backstage, and he said, well, hey, I've never said anything about you. And then then like what, the next day he does an interview with Laura Stanko. So I'm like, shit.
Did you say Laura Stanko?
Yeah. He does an interview with her. And I'm like, damn, man. So what's going on? But then, she comes out with this video, man, and the video went viral. So it's like you got like 1.2 million views on the video, and after the video go viral, now she says, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. Well, the video already did the damage. Now it's done. So I can see where Dana be pissed. Damn, you misquoted me. That's really fucked up. So that's messed up, man. And then Chris, she got to keep a check on her team, man. It's just social media, man. I don't know, man, because she's put some stuff out there, and I'm kind of like, well, damn, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to sell fights. They're trying to do it, like the whole thing going on with Felicia Spencer. They posted that, and I'm like, okay, well, damn, it's pretty smart, but okay, what are they doing over there? And then this whole thing with the KFC, and so finally, I just said, yo, man, look, what's up with this? I asked them. I said, yeah, hey, what's up with this? And they explained it, and it makes sense. But I'm like, okay, are we thinking before we post shit on social media? Like, are we really thinking? Because, something like that, man, the chicken thing, if a lot of people really would have thought that she meant something malicious, they could have fucked her brand up real bad. It could have really fucked it up. And yeah, man. Yeah.
I think, I truly do believe if Chris Cyborg was Holly Holm, like, I think if she wasn't already in the middle of all of this drama, people would have probably made a bigger deal out of it.
Yeah, man, she in some shit. It's keeping her name out there, man.
That's one thing I wanted to ask you, because I think you would know better than anyone that I talked to. But I know a lot of people, they say, I think his name is Ray. They point to her boyfriend and they say he controls a lot of the stuff. Do you think, does she have like an actual team, do you know, or is it just her and him like doing all of this? You know what I'm saying? I would think they have a team, unless,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you
She got her own team, production team, man.
okay,
Because you go to her YouTube channel, you look at those videos. Hey,
yeah.
man, them videos look good,
No,
man.
they do. The ones where she's going to Africa and stuff like that, and yeah, no, and yeah, there's some good editing on those things, man.
Yeah, they do good.
Shout out to
And
Dana White. No, I'm just playing.
they, Chris really down there. I've had some conversations with Chris, man, and she real down to earth, man. Like really, it's almost like you talking to somebody. You can talk to Chris shit, man. Chris Cyborg the type of person you can sit and y'all can have a sports talk. You can just line up sports. You can talk basketball. You can talk fights. You can talk MMA. Chris can be there. She be the type to sit there and just kick it with you, and y'all argue about who gonna win. Like that's kind of how she is, man. She real personable. So I'm like, dang, So she got a production team, man, and sometimes, man, they just kind of get out of hand. But man, I think she gonna like really keep her eye on that, man, and really keep a rap and start dictating what she want on there. Cause yeah, man, bad social media PR can be bad, man. It can be real bad. It can be
Especially
extremely bad.
the timing. You know what I'm saying? Like if one of them happened today and one of them happened next year, it wouldn't. But you know what I'm saying? Like to have to pretty much apologize twice in 1 week. It's just like the timing, man.
Yeah, that's
Not
not
not a
good,
good
man.
not good timing.
But it's a good thing though, man. I don't think a lot of people took the KFC thing. I think everybody understood because when I saw the videos, I'm like, I was pissed. And Genesis said, well, hold on, coach, don't get so mad because it might be that might be really reason why she was doing it. But they got, man, look, they got back to me within like 5 minutes. When I asked, they told me immediately. So I'm like, oh shit, okay. And then I'm looking at the video. Well, she living next to this big ass KFC. Okay, and then some of the videos on the channel, they're teasing her about not being able to have KFC. I said, okay, I see what she's doing. She's talking about the people in Africa, but you got to understand too. If you living in America, and if this way you make your money at, you got to understand the climate. Okay, you got to understand because if you don't understand, people may not understand the next time if it happened. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to understand your climate. Like
Definitely, yeah, not the next time. So, but okay, so some people say like people from Brazil, they might not be aware of the racial, same racial insensitivities. Like, oh, maybe Chris Cyborg didn't know like black people would get offended by chicken jokes. So if you made a mistake, like I could see it happening again. Like if she didn't know, like I could see something like that happening again. So I think with Cyborg specifically, you got to be really careful. But I wanted to ask you about this topic since we're here. Honestly, I was about to plan on getting off and doing closing thoughts, but since we're here, I gotta ask you. So Cyborg did this, and she had a good explanation for why she's not racist. We know her character. She does charity work. I mean, so people, if you know Chris Cyborg, you don't believe she's racist. She has hate in her
no,
heart.
no, she's not racist.
So, and she had a good excuse. Mike Perry, he respects black fighters, nicknamed after a black fighter, listens to black music, trains with black fighters, doesn't seem like he hates black people at all. That's just the culture he grew up in, the environment he grew up in. So if he says something racially insensitive, is it the same thing as when Cyborg does it?
It's two different situations. See, why don't he call this? What when he approach white people, he don't say, "Hey, what's up, my cracker?" He don't do that, do it?
But that's not part of the culture. You don't hear that every day in music. He might even like black people more than he likes white people if you listen to him talk and look at him.
Nah, I don't know, man. White dudes running around the N word. Nah, I
So
can't.
is
I
it
can't
only
see it.
because he's white? If he was Brazilian, would it be cool?
Nope, sure wouldn't. Hey, look, man, I can't deal with too many other people because see, I grew up where I grew up at. I grew up around a lot of racism, and
Hmm.
you may have did. I don't know, but I grew up around a lot of it,
I
man.
grew
So
up around a lot of
I
victim
can't.
mentality. I didn't really see like nobody racist.
Oh,
Like
I did.
like I've seen situations that I thought, okay, that's fucked up, but a lot of times there was different, there was different circumstances in every situation.
Now, I grew up around a lot of racism, man. I grew up around a lot of it, and I got zero tolerance for the shit. Because I was even on live stream saying, "What Chris Cyborg did what?" And see, my mentality is, okay, that's it. I can't support her no more. That's the first thing I said. I can't support her. Fuck that. I'm not supporting her anymore. And then Jens was like, well, hey, it's probably a good reason. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I do. I got their phone number. So why not? And so I kind of stopped being emotional for a minute and said, okay,
Beta!
let me just go ahead and let me just reach out to him. I was pissed, man. Because when I saw it, because I'm like, where's this post at? Where's this fried chicken post? And when I saw it, I was infuriated, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like so it was infuriating, but then it was more infuriating to me when Mike Perry. Well, you know what?
And he actually said the N-word. So, like, what if he posted the chicken thing and didn't actually say the N-word? Because I know the N-word specifically is even more of a topic. But, like, yeah, what if it was the exact same? This is from my African friend's chicken on Instagram.
Okay. Wait, hold on real quick, man. I got you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Eater, the only racist people you ever met were black people. Well, you know what? It's not black people the one going in the name of, whoever. It's not black people going in the name of Trump shooting up churches, okay? It's not black people that's got the most rapes running around the country, is it? Okay? So I guess before you make that comment, I think you need to understand the climate of where you live at, okay? If you live in America, you would probably already know this, okay? And this is no disrespect to any white person because I'm not anti-white. I love white people, I know some white girls that got fat asses too. I have no issue with that. But what I'm trying to explain to you is that the majority of the people in the country are not black, and the racism that I've gotten has been from whites and Hispanics. Okay, that's most of the racism. I mean, so how can you configure that? I mean, if you telling me that black people going around doing hate crimes and killing people, all the time, okay, great. They shooting up churches, mass shootings. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so I kind of want you to just go ahead and just understand it. I don't care if your experience don't trump my experience, but I've had a lot of experience with racism, so I don't have a lot of tolerance for the bullshit. I just don't have time. I don't have a lot of tolerance.
Would you give either one of those examples?
Which one? What are you talking about?
Just like an example of racism. I gotta go grab my
damn
devil's lettuce for this. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Okay. All right. So, an example of racism. Okay. An example of racism. Like you going to a store. Okay, you go into a store, you're shopping, and you got a motherfucker following you around the store because, just because of a stereotype that he's accustomed to, well, he think you're gonna take something out. Okay, he following you around the store. Or if you're in a neighborhood, where you got nice things, and then you out in your neighborhood, and the damn police coming to your house all of a sudden because they don't think you belong there, they don't believe it's your damn house. Or the situation where I can keep going, the situation where a woman wouldn't let the black guy into his own damn apartment because she thought he didn't belong there because it was too high upscale. Okay, so don't tell me racism don't exist. Hell, have you ever been pulled over by the cops? Have you ever had a cop pull you out of your damn car? Okay, pull you out of your car because he suspected you of having something. Hell, he didn't even have proof. He suspected you of having it. And then asked me, why am I around these parts? What you mean, why am I around? I work over here. You work over here? How? What you mean how? What you mean how do I work over here? I work over here. I had a job over here. Okay, I'm not trying to hear that. Okay, I'm not trying to hear that it's not. Okay, don't tell me racism don't exist. Don't tell me black people are racist. You can talk to them blue in the gills. I know I'm not racist. Okay, I know I'm not. I ain't got to prove it. I know I'm not. Yeah, I interview a lot of white fighters on my channel, so how could I even be racist? But I understand racism. That's the difference. Okay, I understand racism. And no, I have zero tolerance for it. If it's anybody. I mean, people saying, well, but when Joanna did the thing about the Brazilians, you don't like her. Well, okay. But Joanna never came out and apologized for it. Joanna never explained it. Okay, you can ask anybody. I think Dennis was on that live stream. I was done with Cyborg. I was like, fuck that. I'm done with Chris Cyborg.
Beta! No, sorry, T-Bone said it in the comments. I had to say it for him.
T-Bone, who you calling the beta?
I think you just wanted me to say it. Beta!
Ain't no beta male.
But no, Coach, I don't know if you know. Yeah. Like, to me, what a beta is, and this is just something I've been incorporating into my channel, a beta to me is anybody that lets emotion make them make bad decisions. It lets you think illogically. Like, let's say somebody comes up to you and says a word like bitch or something, calls you a bitch. If you let that word cause you to sacrifice your freedom, take you away from your family, do all of these things because someone said a word and you got emotional, like bitch, to me, that's beta, because you were unable to think logically. You let emotion cloud your mind, and now you're in a way worse situation. Instead of, to me, that's completely different than defending yourself. I'm 100% for defending yourself, but to me, I just make the joke that anybody, it's not even a joke, I truly believe it. Anybody that gets emotional and lets that blind them and cloud their judgment, that's beta to me anytime. So that's why people say that a lot now on my channel.
If somebody call me a nigga, I'm gonna punch the shit out of them. That's just what it is. If somebody
Beta!
on me, I'm gonna punch the shit out of them. And you know what? It's cool, but you gotta understand where you at. Okay. And look, you grew up. If you say certain things, then you better be ready to defend. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
You better be ready to go. You better be ready. Okay. If you can talk big, then you better be ready to defend. See, dudes, I'm gonna tell you something about the comment section, man. Okay. I'm gonna tell you about the comment section, man. See, you got a lot of people in the comment section full time. These motherfuckers ain't doing shit, okay? You know what they doing? You know what they doing? They spend time and they swear up and down they doing all this big shit, but then they right here in the comment section saying dumb shit all the time. I mean, come on. I mean, you get this shit all the time, don't you?
Yeah, beta lesbian. See, like, he's just, I don't think T-Bone is, he's just calling for those, like, he's not talking about you, I don't think.
That's okay. Well, okay, I'm gonna call him
yeah, no, he's just talking about, like, there's a show called Jesse Lee Peterson, like, that's where the sayings come from. So I don't think he was specifically aiming that at you.
Okay, all right, cause I got
because I don't think you can be a lesbian. I don't think it's possible.
No, it's not. That's okay. I got 5,000 comebacks for him. Don't even worry about it. But not, I'm just saying you gotta be ready for that. And that's just how I grew up, man. I grew up in look, you gotta survive. You gotta survive. You gotta do what you have to do. That's how I grew up. I'm no longer in that state anymore. I'm doing better. And I think you. I know I was homeless at one point. I don't know if you were.
Oh yeah.
I think you told me you were.
Oh yeah, I've been home. I mean, I've been everything. I've my whole life has been poverty. The whole everything. Drug, poverty, homeless, every single thing that you could imagine, like prostitution, everything. Not me. I ain't been selling my butt. Beta! But I grew up around a lot of prostitution in my family, their peers, like stripping, every side of the whole dark side, man, all of that beta mess. So I was raised around a lot of people, that definitely, thought, in my experience, a lot of people said things were racist even if they weren't. Like, they were quick to call racist on things that were and weren't. I understand where a lot of people are coming from, because I used to feel the exact same way and believe the same things. But what I realize now is that mentality honestly had me comfortable being lazy. I felt like people owed me. I felt like I couldn't do stuff much for myself because I was a victim. I didn't want to take accountability or responsibility for myself. I mean, I felt like everything was out against me. And now that I'm kind of out of that state, I've noticed myself being more productive in everything, whether it's not playing video games anymore, not feeling sorry for people, working out, being healthier. Just so I feel like that truly is a bad state of mind, to be quick to call everything racist. That's my personal stance. Like, for me, and Coach, we've talked about this before. I don't believe Mike Perry's racist, but I completely understand where you're coming from. And, I don't hate, I still love you, Coach. We still talk pause all the time. So that's just my stance. And I know we can agree to disagree, and I'll sit here and listen to your takes as well.
Yeah, man, that's one thing. That's why I like arguing with you, man. Hell, it's fun. Hell, we get something out of it and shit. At the end of the day, and we just say fuck it. You know what? You don't agree with that. Let's just move on to the next damn
yes,
thing.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I tell you, who is this right here? Okay, what's this dude name? Man, you got a crazy comment section.
Which one?
Okay, I banned you for saying Cyborg got tore up, and then you said beta. Oh, okay, Jay Skillz, bitch.
Beta. No,
Yeah.
Jay Skillz is going. Jay
Yeah.
Skillz. It's funny. Jay Skillz. He's going through a beta phase himself, Coach. He's
Yeah.
waking up right now, man. He can't be calling nobody beta. Beta male. Jay Skillz. Beta male.
Oh man, hey,
Polybus said full time. Remember when you broke that ashtray? I was probably drunk in a fallen state, man. I almost want to go delete my whole last 2 years of videos because I feel like a new person. I don't even want that to represent me.
it was funny as hell though, man. Come on, man. That shit was entertaining as hell. I mean, it kept me engaged, man. Hey man, you remember when you came on my stream that time and you was tore up? What would you say, man? You said you kiss these nuts.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I was trying hard to keep a straight face, man. I couldn't do it, man. I had to mute myself and start laughing, man. I was laughing like a motherfucker, man. And then the girls was like, "What the hell? What the hell wrong with here?"
Oh shit! T-Bone says full. Okay. Let me see if it works. He said play the real beta soundtrack. I just got a clip. I don't even know if it'll work.
He's a beta.
Okay, fine.
Beta. I don't know if you can hear it, Coach, since you're on Google Hangouts.
He's a beta.
I should have played that way more throughout this.
He's a beta.
Oh yeah, guys, that was awesome. He's a beta. Yeah, man, that's my guy.
He's a beta.
All right, you got to hear it there. There's the soundtrack. And I appreciate the donation, the $5 donation. If you shouldn't, even not, I wanted to hear that anyway. All right, Coach, you ready to move on to the next topic? There's really we've talked about pretty much everything aside from this weekend's fights, Coach. And I mean, this weekend's headlined by a WMMA fight. And of course, if you guys don't already know, Coach is the best WMMA channel on YouTube. So make sure you guys go subscribe and support. Don't be a beta. Support independent channels. Don't get emotional from what Coach says. You know what I'm saying? Hold it down.
I'm gonna take my own advice. I'm gonna take my own advice full time. Coach, don't be a fucking beta, nigga.
Let's go. All right, Coach. I gotta get your thoughts on this main event. Shevchenko versus Carmouche. Shevchenko's coming off the head kick knockout over Jessica Eye. Woo! Made the referee shake his head. And now she's going into a rematch with Liz Carmouche, who beat her in the first fight. I wanted to watch that fight, but I can't find it anywhere on the internet. But from everything I've heard, Liz Carmouche was losing the fight, and it was a up kick. Was it, Coach? I know you can refresh my memory on how the first fight played out. Was it an up kick that Liz Carmouche caught Valentina with?
Yep, caught her with a kick. Valentina was trying to submit her, and when Valentina realized she didn't have the submission, Valentina was about to stand back up, and then Liz threw that up kick, man, and it was a cut. And so Valentina went back to the corner. She didn't even realize she was cut. She thought it was Liz. She went back to the corner, and the doctors went over there, man. They didn't even give her corner time to even work on it, man. Like, they didn't give her corner time to even work on the cut because they were saying it's so bad. And so they stopped the fight. So, yeah, Liz Carmouche been talking big shit, boy.
Has she?
Yeah, man. Liz been saying, I'm gonna finish her again. I'm gonna do this to her. I'm gonna do that. And so, Valentina, I've never seen her not like anybody. I thought Nunes was who she hated the worst. Nah, man. She can't stand Liz Carmouche, man.
Oh, so she's actually moving the unmovable. Valentina, man, you never see her let nobody get into her head. Always in that alpha state, man. Just a stone cold killer. I'm gonna have to go watch these interviews and see how she's reacting, because that's
cold as a lamb with no hair.
Crap.
If you ever see me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear,
believe it or not, it's Amanda Nunes, man. But see, Amanda, she can piss you off because Amanda, to be honest, man, she got the perfect demeanor for a fighter, because Amanda don't give a shit about anything, bro. And it's almost like, damn, like you trash talk her and she just kind of, she'll say something nonchalant like she don't give a fuck. And that's what be pissing them off. People like Valentina, they care, so they want Amanda to care, but Amanda be like, I don't care about nothing. I just want to fight.
It's like she's always so tired from training so hard, she don't even got the energy to trash talk Amanda Nunes.
She don't care about it, man. It don't, you know, but Liz, I think Liz triggered something because Valentina wouldn't even shake her hand. And
Ooh.
I'm saying, whoa. When they did the face off, you know, Valentina got a chip on her shoulder, man. And I think she's finna go in there and try to knock her out, man. Cause she been, it's been, man, that fight happened 9 years ago. Okay. And for 9 years, Valentina been having to hear, well, you know, you got knocked out. And so whenever somebody asks her about the fight, she get irritated, man. Hell, I asked her one time about the fight, and you can kind of tell, man, she was, you know, happy, and her whole demeanor just changed. And when she started, no, the up kick, it was illegal. It should not have even happened anyway. And you know, my corner never got a chance to stop the bleeding, and they stopped the fight. It was the doctor's fault. It wasn't my fault. I was winning the fight, and she actually was. But you know, full time, I wonder, you know, the damn fight has been scrubbed off the internet.
Yeah.
Who do you think's responsible for getting that fight off the internet?
I know Liz Carmouche's team don't got that much power, so I have no clue why that's off the internet, man. They usually only do that for special videos.
And I've asked
you got to be speaking some real truth or something to get kicked off the internet like that. I don't know what the hell that's off there for.
Yeah, and you know, and I asked Roger, our manager, I said, man, did y'all get that video scrubbed from the internet? I said, how you guys gonna explain this?
Yeah, that's honestly, Coach, it's got to be because Roger and Valentina, I think they got a lot more power than Carmouche's team, so something like that.
And he started laughing to my, no, Coach, I can't get a video scrubbed off the internet, Coach.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Damn, we can't find that video. Because when I was telling him, I said, yeah, you know, that video's still up. He said, really? Where'd you find it at?
Oh, he was gonna go get the last copy.
but when I went to the site that I was getting, it was a Russian site. The video gone.
Oh, you blew up the spot, Coach.
Yeah, man. I'm like, damn, how did they know about this shit? But somebody got it scrubbed off.
But I wonder why, man. Man, because now I'm so because that makes you more curious to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like when something you feel like should be there and it's not, it makes you want to see it more.
Yeah, man. I you know, I saw the fight back in 2010 when it happened, man. And Valentina's accounts, you know, they're about 95% accurate. I mean, she was winning the fight. And Liz thought that she could get the fight to the ground, and you know, she thought, but then Valentina threw her ass in a submission, and Liz wasn't expecting that. Honestly, it was in round 2. Okay, so Valentina never even got a chance to go. She never even got a chance to go out to round 3. But if she'd have finished that fight, she would have won it by unanimous decision. Liz was losing on every part of the fight. Valentina, when he was standing there, Valentina was kicking the shit out of her. That was funny as hell, man. She was kicking the shit out of Liz. And then when the fight went to the ground, she was beating the shit out of Liz. I'm talking about beating her ass. And then, you know, that up kick happened, and man, that cut was huge, man. And so they stopped the fight. They didn't.
So was it? I was gonna say, was it like a cut? So was it stopped because the cut, like a doctor stoppage, or did she get rocked from the kick?
No, it was a doctor stoppage.
Okay.
And the cut was on her eyebrow, man. It was like it was a big gash, man. But I think they should have gave her corner enough time to work on the cut. Yeah. I think they should the fight, because you got to think, man. It was closer to the end of round 2. You know, they should have let the girl continue to fight, man, because that kind of, you know, just fucked it up.
Well, man, we're gonna see the rematch tomorrow. The co-main event, Coach, man. I don't know if you know much about Vicente Luque, but I know you know a lot about who he's fighting. Mike Perry, my nigga. Stop. Mike Perry versus Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque, Coach, you might actually be in for a treat, because let me tell you, Vicente Luque is no slouch. He's got, I believe, 8-9 fights in the UFC. I think he's only lost 1, and out of the last 9 fights, all the 8 guys he's beat, he's finished. High-level fighters, Brian Barberina, Bilal Mahal, like the best unranked fighters in the world. This guy is like the cream of the crop, and it's one of the most stacked. So he's a real deal. Unless Mike Perry really evolve, this is going to be a really tough fight for him to not get beat up in. So that's my take on the co-main event. What are your thoughts on it? Because it is also one of the, you know, even if you don't like Mike Perry or feel how you feel about him, you got to admit he's got an exciting fighting style.
Yeah, the boy can punch, man. I mean, it's a lot of fighters I don't like, man, like Bojangles, but hell, I said, damn, she can fight.
Yeah.
Mike Perry, man, you know, his inside fighting is pretty good, man. When he trade with people in the inside, man, he can normally put them down, man. I've seen him do it. Now this guy he fighting, man, he's got exciting exciting style, but he fast, and he very deceptively fast too. And I was like, damn, this guy's fast, man. Um, it's gonna be a firefight, man. This fight ain't going the distance. There's no way. It cannot, man. Because both of them, they got that aggressive style where they try to just get you out of there. It can't go the distance, man. I mean, now who's got the better ground game? Because
I mean, just he's well rounded, and Mike Perry, he's got a lot to work on when it comes to it. Mike Perry got into this as a boxer. He had a lot of boxing training. So, Mike Perry, when he got into MMA, it was already a uphill battle for him to become very well rounded. One thing that he had on his side is when he got in, he was still young. He was only like 25, and I think now he's like 27, 28. So if he gets with an American top team or an AKA or one of these top teams, he can round out his game. But the fact that he started as a boxer, it takes a lot more discipline to learn that wrestling when you start late. So I think Vicente's got the better ground game and even well-rounded, maybe even the better kicks. But one thing, to your point, that Mike Perry, in his interview before the fight, he's getting smarter, man. His fight IQ is raising. He talked about how he knows he's going to have to start being more technical. He can't just be a knockout artist. So he's becoming aware of his mistakes and deficiencies. So we'll have to see how fast he can capitalize on it and learn from it and become better. But I just think Vicente Luque is really, really good. So he's going to have to knock Vicente out in this fight if he's going to win, I believe.
It's possible, man. If it go into the inside, man, Mike Perry going to beat him, man. Because Perry, he can throw those little short hooks, man. And
elbows,
actually, man,
hooks, oh yeah.
Yeah, man, he good on the inside, man. And it's actually kind of underrated, man, his inside game. It is. But yeah, Vicente better be smart, man. He better not get in on the inside because Vicente gonna be he gonna have a Ben Askren soul floating around, man. It's gonna be nasty too.
That Askren soul floating around is so funny, man.
Oh man, that thing is hilarious, man. And he's still talking shit too, man.
Yeah.
He made Jorge Masvidal famous, man. You got your ass whooped. Just shut up.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I'm never betting against Jorge Masvidal again. I don't care who he fighting. Never.
I wouldn't bet against him, but at the same time, man, be careful putting your money on him. He's in a weight class up, and there's some real killers up here.
Look, man, he took care of Ben Askren.
Oh, yeah, but Usman, Covington, woo, there's nothing but killers after Askren.
That's going to be a good fight, man. Usman versus Covington.
Yeah.
So, how many pay-per-views you think they'll do?
Oh, man, Colby Covington, his antics, as far as the numbers, they don't seem to be working. There's other factors, like when he fought at UFC 225, it was the same card as CM Punk, so some people feel like maybe people boycotted that. But afterward, I mean, headlines came out, one of the lowest selling pay-per-views. He most recently fought Robbie Lawler on ESPN. It was a daytime card, so some people say maybe that's why people couldn't watch it. But he had some of the lowest numbers for that. So Colby Covington doesn't seem to be translating into pay-per-views and selling tickets. But at the same time, everybody knows who he is. And this is also a really good fight. I mean, between him and Kamaru Usman, they really don't like each other. It's a really good matchup as far as they're both really good wrestlers. Both of their striking is, it's up in the air. I mean, people say Kamaru Usman doesn't have knockout power, but he literally knocked out Sergio Moraes and made him do a front flip, like with one punch.
God, dang.
Like, punched him and he did a somersault and he was out of it. So he definitely has knockout power. As to where Colby Covington, we've seen him box Damian Maia outboxed Colby Covington. I don't remember if people remember that fight, but they actually boxed. A lot of people expected it to be a grappling match because it was wrestling versus jiu-jitsu, but they actually ended up going out there and boxing, and Damian Maia got the better of a lot of the exchanges. And that's a jiu-jitsu guy. So now he goes out here with Robbie Lawler and he throws 300 strikes. But, I mean, Mike Perry said it best. He said, if I would have hit Robbie Lawler with 600 strikes, it might have been the first death in the UFC. So I don't think Colby's got a lot of power. He looked kind of small in there compared to Robbie Lawler. I think Usman's probably gonna have a little size advantage and more a power advantage. So I love the fight, man. Great fight, but I'm definitely giving an edge to Usman whenever the fight gets here. Pay-per-views, man, we got to see. Colby seems to be breaking low records.
Yeah, man. And people turned off, but yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. I would have thought that would have translated to people want to see him get his ass whooped, but maybe, maybe they just think that he probably good enough. I don't know, man, because he's a good fighter, man. I don't like.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe people are like, "Damn, we don't think he can lose. We don't want to tune in and watch this guy win."
Yeah, man, they might. I mean, Usman a good. I got Usman beating him, man. But Covington, he a good fighter, man. He a good fighter. He probably need to do something else, man. He need to do something else with the antics, man. The whole boomerang thing, that was good. That was golden. Him getting hit in the head with that damn boomerang, and it brought a lot of attention to him. But after that, the antics just got more dumber and dumber. Like the nerd bash, it was kind of funny though. That nerd bash was funny as hell. And he was going around walking up to people and just slapping the shit out of them, or taking a money.
T-Bone MMA makes a good point. He said Perry can't throw 500 punches, though. His arms would be dead. No, that's a great point, actually. Mike Perry doesn't have the best cardio. But if there was some, like, let's say Mike Perry on EPO, let's just say there was a way Mike Perry could throw 600 punches, then it would be true. But he would definitely need some performance-enhancing drugs to throw 600 punches.
I don't think Kobe on no PEDs because he ain't knocking nobody out with his hands.
Yeah, not at all.
Nah, man. It's an interesting matchup though, man. It kind of got me thinking, man. I ought to do like a film study, see who would really win this fight. Because
man, yeah, I don't know how many of Usman's fights that you've watched, but I know you have Fight Pass. So I'm telling you, watch all of his fights, you'll see. He actually, a lot of people say it, he actually hasn't ever lost a round. Like, has he been punched in the face? Of course. But as far as the round, Kamaru Usman dominates round by round.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and watch some more of his fights, man. I've only seen 3 fights of him. I don't care. I was glad he beat Tyron Woodley, man. I was sick of Tyron Woodley.
Why?
Man, he just... He you know what, man? At one point in time, his style was good. It was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like, man, he went into this whole defensive mode, just don't want to engage. And, I said, man, look, he going to get his ass whooped. Watch. Something going to happen to him.
I think he went from being, hungry, and wanting the money and wanting the belt so he could make money to once he got the belt and started making, I think just with anybody, once you start making more money than you've ever made, you try and preserve it. So I think he just knew, man, if I lose this belt, I'm never getting it back. So I think he was trying to just hold on to the belt and play it as safe as he could. To what you were saying, I do agree. Like, he became a lot more defensive, but I think it might have had something to do with trying to hold on to that belt.
Man, well, if you ever want to do a Tyron Woodley skit, man, XA Gucci 23 sound just like that bastard.
I've heard him a couple times on the Mobcast.
Man, he sounds just like Tyron Woodley. You ever do a skit? Hey, man, you got to get him to play Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, man, for sure. Is XA Gucci in here right now? I don't see him right now, but yeah, for sure, man. Quincy Pinot says that would be cool if Covington won, but I think he gets KO'd by Usman. Yeah, I can't wait. I think they're talking about UFC 244 Madison Square Garden, so that'll be it. Someone said the Kurt Angle walkout is classic.
You know what? And people keep giving this narrative that Usman is afraid, man.
Oh my man!
I done argue with so many people. He's not afraid of Covington.
You know what that reminds me of, Coach?
Yeah.
People saying Nunes was scared of Cyborg before they fought. I mean Nunes, not Cyborg. People saying Nunes was scared of Shevchenko. I'm sorry, because she had already beat her. That's what that reminds me of. Because I remember I was like, man. Like, even if people think Shevchenko does have a chance, because of course she did, even if people do think she can win the rematch, they really think Nunes is scared? Like, I didn't think that. But I'm here on Kamaru Usman. I think the people that believe that are just buying into the hype of Colby's last fight. But Kamaru Usman, man, he never got his respect, though. He reminds me of Amanda Nunes also in a sense that Doesn't matter what he does, people are going to kind of root against him. Like I said, he had dominated every round of every fight. He had momentum. He had knocked out Sergio Moraes. And after he fought Emil Mick, it didn't matter about his win streak anymore. Nobody cared all of a sudden. Oh, that was a boring fight. So even though his last fight was a knockout, a vicious knockout, because he went on and fought a guy on short notice, Emil Mick, because there was no one else for him to fight, and he said, you know what, I want to fight. He fought Emil Mick, and since it wasn't some knockout, even though he was injured, he said he was at 30%. All everyone said after was, oh, you're a boring fighter, and they made fun of him for saying 30%. So even though he was on a win streak, all of that, people forgot about it that quick. And that's exactly why I say Masvidal shouldn't fight Leon Edwards, because you have momentum and leverage right now. If your next fight isn't a knockout, people are going to forget about everything you did and call you boring or call you whatever they want to do. If Dana White comes out in the media and says, oh, Masvidal just fought to a decision, he don't deserve a title shot. You know the fans are going to say, oh, Masvidal fought to a decision. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to actually understand how much work he's put in or how good Usman is. They're just going to go with whatever they, their emotion, I feel like. Now, they don't like Usman, so they're going to root against him.
He's a beta.
They can't stand his ass, man. They can't stand. They be calling him Marty and all this other shit.
Marty.
I told one dude, I said, man, you would never say that shit to his face. Yes, I would. No, the fuck you wouldn't, because he would fuck you up. You would never say that, okay? You would never say that.
Unless they were at like a fan expo and there was a bunch of, they knew that Kamaru Usman didn't want to jeopardize a fight. Like, if you had a fight coming up and you're at like the open workouts, they might say something slick. But yeah, no, to his face, one-on-one, disrespect him. No. F no. They wouldn't do that to nobody. Shit, Mike Perry. Like anybody. Like you go to a professional fighter and disrespect them to their face. That's not very smart.
Nope. Hell no. Hell no. It's stupid, man. But you know what? You got trolls that do it, man. You got some trolls that definitely that go up to these fighters and think they can whoop their ass, man. You know?
Oh yeah, like the guy who's the boxing guy that kept going into the boxing gyms. What's his name?
Yeah, Charlie Zelner.
Yep. Exactly who. Somebody like a year ago they kept saying, man, that's like Charlie Zelenoff. I was like, man, who the hell is this Charlie Zelenoff they keep talking about? I went and looked up all the videos. I was dying laughing. Man, they started beating him down, man.
Well, did you see the MMA video where I'm trying to remember, man? Somebody came into
Team Alpha Male. Yeah, his name was like something Matthew Kleincater or something. Oh, that man was a grade A Troy. Yeah, he was like that's when they started telling me about Charlie Zelenoff, because they were saying that guy was like Charlie Zelenoff. I'm like, man, who the hell is Charlie Zelenoff? Because this dude's crazy. But yeah, that dude, he ended up faking his death. He started talking a bunch of trash on Conor McGregor, and he's like, all right, I got my ticket to Conor. Somebody told me to meet him at a gym, and then he flew over there, and then someone got on his Twitter, hey man, he died, like da 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 da, and then like 2 months later, he's like, I faked my death. Like, oh god.
Oh shit. Man, you know what? No. What's my boy name? Ed Harris III, man. You might. I know Ed. I love you, man. But he was saying he was gonna get in there and he wanted to fight OSP. I said, look, man, stop. Don't do that shit. I said, don't do that shit, man. I mean, look, man. Fucking with him on Twitter, that's different. But engaging this motherfucker for real, man, you can lose your damn life, man. Stop fucking with these damn fighters, man. Don't go to their gyms talking about you want to spar, because shit, you in a gym, shit, they can beat the shit out of you. They can just boop your head. You ain't got to sign on contract because you came in there fucking with them. Oh yeah, he just said he wanted to spar. Hell, I accidentally hit him too hard. And fuck, that's why he did. Fuck him.
Yeah, man, there's definitely repercussions for every dumb action, man. You could go in there, but man, you got to be mentally disturbed to think that's gonna work out for you.
Yeah, man. Like What did somebody say to Tyron Woodley, man?
Oh, what haven't they said to Tyron Woodley?
Told Tyron Woodley, man.
I mean, they talk about his raps most recently. I think his latest song I think was pretty good. Tyron Woodley's, like, a lot of times when he drops music, everybody automatically jokes. But what I saw was like, oh man, his last song is actually pretty good from what I've been hearing about it.
Do you see that clip, man? He was at the mall, man. He was at the mall, and somebody said, "Yeah, I want to spar with you, man. I think I can take you." Tyron looking at him like, just looking at him and laughing at him, man. Like, man, the fuck, man. Y'all some dumbasses.
Yeah, man, that's craziness. But
Yeah.
Coach, we've been out here for a good time. We've had a good conversation. I'm about to shut it down, so I'll go to you, and I think Dennis Espinosa is still hanging around. I want to get your closing thoughts on anything going down in MMA, and of course, make sure everybody go subscribe to the coach's channel, subscribe to the greatest WMMA channel on YouTube, the Come Get This Work Mobcast. I'm on there. Half the full-time family, Coach, everybody goes over there every Thursday and just chops it up and just has conversations about what's going on in MMA and also how to not be a beta. That was part of our last topic.
Shit.
He's a
I'm sorry, man. I can't stop laughing, man. That shit funny.
I love it. It's so funny. Oh,
man.
It's so funny.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Even extending the offer, let me come on your channel, man. It's really fun to be here, man. I appreciate it because you don't have to, but I appreciate it, brother. I really do. Guys, support full time. Start sharing his videos. YouTube giving a raw fuck to the guy. He should be 40,000 subs by now.
It's gonna get worse now that I'm talking about alphas and betas because the war is on against masculinity, and we ain't with that beta-ness. So it's gonna be even harder. But I don't even bother it no more. I'm just gonna keep doing my videos. Let them unsubscribing people. I mean, if you want to hear the channel, you know where to find me.
Go to Discord, shit. I ain't get on Discord my damn self, man. It's probably better over there.
Yeah, it's real fun. Just people go and come all day. It's just like a YouTube chat all day, with no video.
YouTube, a bunch of betas,
beta males.
You give each other a bunch of garbage.
He's fucking a beta. Nerd listening to the chat stream now. You beta.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir. Dennis Espinosa, what's going on?
Just a couple of things. You left my topic a while ago. We all our experience, our perspectives can be colored by our experiences. So now that you've expressed yourself, I understand more of why you see things the way you do, and why you react the way you do. And when I say there is racism, that has nothing to do with my experiences personally. No one has held me down. No one has stood in my way. If they tried to stand in my way, I moved around them through whatever. And I've never felt like a victim. I've done fairly well for myself. So when I say there is racism, that's from an objective standpoint. It's not from a victim's mentality. It's not from thinking that I'm held down because of anything. If anything, I've held myself down by my own bad decisions, and that's it. So I just want to let you know that that's where I come from when I say, yeah, there is racism. I can understand people's motivation for saying there isn't racism. Like, if you ignore it, it's going to go away. That won't work. I can understand people not wanting to focus on racism and have some people get angry and then react out of the anger out of a lack of self-control. Beta. So I understand that as well. We have to. I think we need to reach beyond our own experiences and see that there are a lot of people from different backgrounds, from different perspectives, and not color our judgment of them based upon our experiences.
I 100% understand where you're coming from, and where people who believe in racism, I don't judge them. I completely get it. Like, for the longest,
it's not believing it. It's knowing that it exists.
I see, and that's it. To me, it's an idea, and I feel like a lot of the times it gets over exaggerated, overused to the point to where nowadays in 2019, I mean, even longer than that, it's just I don't feel like there's any examples that are real racism today. I don't think there's any real examples that can be pointed out that's like, oh, that's blatant racism. I think there's an explanation, kind of like Cyborg's explanation. There's always an explanation that actually is logical.
You wouldn't want to walk through some towns that are totally white. You wouldn't walk as even a half black person through them
Yes, I
without
would.
something very, very drastic
I
happening.
would just like, let's say I was walking through KKK land. I would definitely have a MAGA hat on my head if I was walking through there. And I think that they would be way more apt to hear my conversation than if I was going through there blasting some, rap music and, disturbing them. And that'd be different.
And
But I mean, that's the same case though. Like a white biker bar, or if it's a black neighborhood, like let's say the south side of Chicago, there's not going to be, I don't think it would be smart for a white person to walk through there, but it's because they're all angry. There's so many people angry right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's because the black people that might attack that person are racist. I think they're angry. A lot of the white people that act out in the ways people feel are racist are angry. They feel like they're under attack. It's a misunderstanding.
Yeah, but when that anger is focused one way, and you can actually turn that energy around. Ironically, I would feel, this is going to sound sort of strange, I would feel more uncomfortable walking through East LA and Hispanic gangs than Watts. I was in Watts just right after the Watts riots. I've never had a problem with black people at all. You talk about Chicago. I was supporting a machine tool convention in Chicago, and I was on a pager, and I caught the wrong bus. And I was on this bus, and there were more and more black people on it, and there were pretty much all black women. And I was still on this bus, and they were looking at me like, "Boy, you're crazy." They went past.
They're actually probably thinking in their head, "Look at this racist motherfucker."
No, it's like they wanted to protect me. They said, like, they like, "You're on the wrong bus, dude." And they got to the end of the line. We passed Malcolm
X Boulevard.
Malcolm X Boulevard, the college, the college there. College I went through an area that looked like a war zone. There were no windows, apartments, and all that. And they let me out at the end of the line. I was standing on this corner in the middle of this place. No one bothered me. No one bothered me at all. It's sort of strange because like I've met Latinos. Now one Jamaican guy was similar to this Hispanic guy, the kind of guy you wouldn't turn your back on because you don't know if you get a knife in the back, and they would do it as soon as shake your hand.
Wait, did you just say Hispanics would put a knife in your back as soon as they would shake your hand?
No, I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
I said this Jamaican guy and this Latino guy, they had sort of the same mentality. It's not a matter of race; it's a personality type. The cross races, right? And I knew I didn't want to turn in the different situations. I had the same feeling. Don't turn your back because either one of these guys, as soon as stab you, they shake your hand. And I've been in those situations. So it's sort of interesting. But again, my thing that I would say tonight is, don't let your experiences color your perspective of other people, and realize that they have their perspective and experiences too, and don't judge them by your experiences. Because I noticed that when somebody says something to you, it's like when I've said, I believe in racism, you come back with that. If you have a victim mentality, and if you've been held back, you think you've been held back. And that's not my case at all. I haven't been held back by anybody really at all. Go ahead, Coach.
But I'm gonna tell you, man. I don't go and say, well, this person's stopping me from doing something. Like I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do it, and I may have to work 5 times as hard as any of my other racial counterparts, but that's okay. I'm gonna get it done. I mean, I guess I've been living around racism, living, because when you're in the South, man, it's hard to escape. It just is. So I recognize it, but I do it on a person by person basis. See, I don't take like a whole race and say, oh, damn, white people racist. Nah, I mean, I'll say, hey, that person, boy, they racist as hell. Fuck them. I won't be talking to them anymore. And I just let it, I do that right there. I mean, I'll call it out. I'll call it out in a minute. And if I suspect it, I'll tell the person, hey, I think you're racist. And I'll be brutally honest. Because just in my experience, in my neighborhood where I grew, I didn't have a whole lot of problem with black people, man. It's when, I ventured out now into my adult years, and when I moved out of that neighborhood and moved into a better neighborhood, it just seems like that's where the problems are coming from.
Yeah.
Like I never had many problems, man. And when I go, when I do the backpack giveaway each year, I don't have any problems going into those really rough neighborhoods. It's when I go out of the neighborhoods that, white folks think that I'm not supposed to be there. And I'm like, I live in this neighborhood. I ain't got to answer no questions. Fuck out my face. I had the cops called on me one time for saying that to, saying it to a person. But I'm not gonna go and say, "Oh, all white women are racist." 'Cause, I ain't gonna do that. That don't make sense. Don't make sense. It's a person by person basis.
It is person by person. Person's either a decent person or not so decent person. We all have our thresholds of what we're willing to tolerate. And moving down here to Texas, it's sort of interesting because if I see a black person, I can understand the sensitivity to racism by black people. So it's easily understandable. Because you try to reach out to a black person, it's like at first, what the hell are you doing? Why are you talking to me? My wife went to a laundromat where it was primarily Hispanics on that side of town where she went. And they were looking at her because she's white, she's German and English. They were looking at her like, "What the hell are you doing in this laundromat?" Fortunately, no one gave her a problem. But that's sort of interesting because it's like you see cool people that are just cool people to you, and you want to say hi or reach out to them and befriend them. But at first, they're really cautious with you because they don't know where you're coming from. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point earlier, Dennis, I don't feel like I'm judging anybody. Like, I just put out the generalization, and if the shoe fits and people take it personal, that's on them. I don't hate them for it. I don't resent anybody for their feelings. I mean, I don't care what if you disagree with me, I don't care which way you disagree with me, whether it's on alpha, beta, religion, any of that, racism, any of that. I don't hate, resent. I don't
Well,
I don't mind anybody's opinion. I'm just confident in my opinion, like an alpha male, and so I'm not gonna back down to to a debate or a conversation. I'll tell you how I feel, and we can agree to disagree, and and we can go on our ways. I'll still love you.
Come back and if you're going to disagree with me, I want you to understand me first, so that way we know what we disagree about in the first.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I come back. And an alpha male doesn't have to go around screaming he's alpha.
I know he doesn't have to scream that he's alpha. That's more so of a joke, but it's definitely fun to call out when something's beta, because I'm not all the way alpha yet. I'm just now waking up. It's only been, it hasn't been years even. You know what I'm saying? It's only going on a month that I'm really starting to realize the beta mentality that is really 95% of the world suffers from, because it comes from not having a strong father, and most people don't have strong fathers that lead the right way these days. So men who are raised by their mothers or raised by weak men are usually beta males and emotional, and that's, I feel like, 95% of the population. And in order to get away from that, all you have to do is forgive your parents. All you have to do is understand, you know what I'm saying? Forgive your parents, understand why you are the way you are. They had no control over the way they were. You got to forgive your mother for, causing you to resent your father a lot of the time. And these are general statements, but it reigns true for most people. And if you have details, you can customize it to each specific person. But a lot of people need to forgive their fathers for not being able to protect them from their mothers. And a lot of people automatically get personal and emotional. Protect me from my mother. My mother was an angel. She wasn't bad. She could do no wrong. No, that's not correct. Just protect you in the sense of not having you around your father and not raising you with that logical mindset. So we've all been victims of this mentality. And so I'm not actually claiming, oh, I'm 100% alpha all day, every day. I still have little beta slip ups every now and then. I got angry yesterday. I shouldn't get angry. Anybody that gets angry is beta. So I got angry yesterday.
I don't think that's true, man. I think anger, that's a normal human emotion. People get angry. Stuff can make you angry.
He's a beta.
Now this YouTube stuff, yeah, you get overly angry over this. It's something wrong, but people do piss you off. People in real life piss you off. People in your family piss you off. They do. They don't mean to sometimes, but they do. They piss you off. And every now and then you do get angry. It's just,
He's
it's
a
just like when
beta.
somebody say, okay, a dude actually shouldn't cry. Well, I mean, it
He's a
depends.
beta.
I mean, I
He's a
don't think,
beta.
like when
He's
Shakur
a
Stevenson,
beta.
he cried, when he didn't win the gold medal. I mean, I think too
He's
many
a beta. Sorry, coach.
I think too many guys, what they do is they try to hide that emotion sometimes. They try to hide it. And when you internalize certain things, man, that also not good for you. And that stuff sometimes it's not good for your health, man, to actually try to internalize it. I don't think that make a person a beta male if they actually are
He's a
passionate about
beta.
something like the gold medal. I think people was unfairly criticizing him, okay? Like what makes him, a weak guy if he was crying because he didn't get the gold medal? I mean, he went out there, you trained for 4 years for that, and you get to that point and you feel like you got robbed, okay. I mean, I don't see nothing right. See, I think you do at certain points in times. You are gonna have to get into your emotion. You can't spend 100% of your time in your emotions. I agree with that. But I think to totally just ignore your emotion that was put in there by nature anyway, that's kind of crazy too. Because sometimes you do need to access it at certain times.
And I would say it's not ignoring your emotion, because I still love everybody. Love is an emotion. It's not just all emotions, but it's letting emotion cloud your judgment and not make the right decision because you're emotional, or even being in the fallen state of not being. I mean, honestly, the way I look at it, and I don't want to see, the only reason I don't like having this conversation is because it always gets spiritual, but honestly, that's what it is. To me, it's a spiritual battle. It's between good and evil. It's not, to me, of course, it's not about race. It's not about gender. It's not about any of that. It's about good and evil, and it's about what's right and what's wrong. And so, to me, what's right is the natural order, which is God over Christ, Christ over man, man over woman, woman over children. And when the father is removed from that element, as is the case in, like I said, 90, 95, not all, but most, when the father is removed, we're raised in the image of our mothers. And that's not how it's supposed to be. Men are supposed to lead the way, lead women who lead the children. In order to be a leader, you have to be logical. You can't be emotional, because if you're going to be leading somebody, then you can't let that emotion cloud your judgment. You're going to lead them to hell.
Now, when it comes to business decisions in the house, I mean, yeah, I think the man makes those decisions. But if a motherfucker cry, man, if your mom died, well, don't cry. That's being
He's
a
a
bad.
beta.
Beta.
No, it's not. Because if that's somebody you care about, if your father passed and you cry, there's nothing wrong with a person crying.
Now let the dead bury the dead.
It don't matter, but that don't make a person a beta. Because that don't make him a beta, man. If it's okay to have your feelings, man. It's okay. Okay, that
It's
don't
okay
make
to have feelings like
as long,
love and
as long as you're taking care of your business at home, as long as your children are well prepared, as long as everything in the house is taken care of, as long as you don't have your woman running the house, man. See, that's where people get in trouble, man. When they can't really openly express, themselves, and if you're at a funeral, man, if it's somebody you care about, I mean, it is what it is, I
He's a
don't
beta.
think holding in tears sometimes. I don't think that's the answer too. I don't think that make you alpha, because if you don't cry, I don't think that make you an alpha. I just think it's just a person who sometimes you are afraid to actually, let your true emotion come out. At a funeral, I think it's totally appropriate. Okay, I think it's totally appropriate. I mean, I never saw my dad cry a day in his life, but when he buried his brother, who they were close, I saw him cry for the first time. Never saw him cry a day in my whole life until that day when we had to bury his brother. But my dad ain't no beta. Okay,
no, yeah. People tend to get emotional, but it's only when we're in a fallen state. I mean, I cried all the time. It was terrible. I was beta, cried at everything. Funerals, crying at. Every time my mom cried, which was a lot, I cried because I was like her baby, and my father wasn't around. Like I was a beta. And I always cried, always got emotional. I always thought, oh man, men are emotional. I didn't know what a man was though. And when I say alpha, I mean, you're only truly alpha if you are born again, living right by God, not, sinning, all of that. And once you're living right and you you are born again, then you won't have that emotion. Once you've returned to the true natural state, that's when the emotion is taken away from you, because you realize that you don't have any resentment anymore. You don't have any hate, and that takes away a lot of the emotion. It doesn't matter what trauma you've went through, none of that, because you will be in your natural state of being an alpha male.
Yeah, you're coming from one extreme though, and that's coloring your perspectives. The shortest verse in
He's
the
a
Bible is
beta.
Jesus wept. He wept. It's unhealthy to swallow your emotions. It says, be angry, but sin not. It's what you do with that anger. Basically, basically alpha is having the ability to have self-control. How I react to that anger determines whether I'm beta or not. If I react in a negative way, returning for evil, then that's beta, not beta.
But I'm gonna tell you why I agree with full time though. Now, I'm sorry, man. These dudes, this is why I totally agree with full time. When their girls break up with them, and then it's a year later, and you still talking about the same. Yeah, man. Come on, look, man. Look, come on.
Beta.
Yeah. I mean, you got to go. And honestly, too, if I'm still, my dad passed. Okay, if I'm still crying a year later, look, man. I'm sorry. That's just not normal.
That's beta.
That's
Yeah,
just
That's
not
real
normal.
beta.
that's not normal. And
He's a
there's a
beta.
big reason for
You got
that. You're talking about a codependency. Guy breaks up. I was very codependent when I was younger because I was pretty reserved, and my wife was my first girlfriend, first
He's a
person
beta.
I had sex with, and all that.
Okay.
I was pretty busted up about that, but that was from to me. I can see the need for nurturing and having that strong father and mother. I had a father that was strong, but he had to work away all the time. He himself grew up having to hunt rabbits to feed the family. He worked in the fields. He's self-educated. He studied algebra. He studied electronics. At 30, he was still working in the coal mines when he started studying. And he broke away from that. He ended up learning electronics. He ended up retiring from civil service, inspecting subcontractors that worked on the space shuttle. So he came a long way. So he was a good example in a lot of ways. But in my early years, he was absent. And the lack of, so full time, I can understand where you're sensitive to. Now you're swinging the other way, but it's a pendulum. You'll balance out with time. Because you're coming from a perspective and say, well, I don't want to cry like that and all that, and you're going from one extreme to the other.
Well, the person I'm getting this information from is 70 years old, and he's been preaching it for like the last 40 years. So hopefully, I mean, maybe, I mean, I don't know, maybe I will. Who knows? I mean, not hopefully I will, but I'm saying hopefully it will balance out. I mean, if that's what is necessary, but
Yeah,
as of right now, I feel like this is the most logical and enlightening information that has been given in a long time, and it makes a lot of sense as far as just everything, the natural order, the how important the father is, yet the world doesn't place importance on the father. And I honestly believe that's a big problem with what's going on in the world, is because fathers are so not involved in. I feel like people talk about all the mass shootings and stuff. If we got back to God and we got fathers in the homes, I truly believe it would solve those things. But you can, to your point, Dennis, you can have a father or a mother that you feel like is strong and has good qualities, but if they're not truly living a born again life perfect by God, then they're not perfect examples, and you will resent them for whatever it is. If you have any resentment towards your parents, which it's subconscious for a lot of people, but a lot of people do, whether you know it or not. They weren't, if they weren't perfect, you likely have some sort of resentment, and as long as you have resentment in your heart, then you will not have peace. So I mean, I'm not here to convince anybody, because that's playing God when you're trying to convince somebody of a way to live. I want people to live their way. If it's working for them, if they have peace, if they're comfortable with the way they're living, if they're not depressed, then do you. But if you do want to have peace and you don't, if you're seeking peace, if you're seeking the kingdom of God, I believe the truth is all you have to do is forgive, and it will put you in a way better mindset. And it starts with forgiving your parents, returning to your father, because that's the natural order. God over Christ, Christ over man, man over woman, woman over children. And once we get back to that, I think everything just will be amazing.
Well, that's part of growing up. You come to the realization that regardless of what your parents do, you're responsible for yourself from this point on.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna tell you, man, and I, you know, when I was out, man, and it's kind of crazy, man. When I was out doing my bullshit, man, and yeah, my mom said, "Oh yeah, get the fuck out." I said, "Yeah, whatever. I'll be going nowhere," And of course, I get home, it's December, and it's snowing, and I get in, I come to the door, the locks got changed. Well, anyway, that started my journey on being homeless. So, and of course, you know, I see a full time going. I see this, yeah, man. I was mad at my parents, man, for about 2 years, but then I got thinking about it. I said, nah, I fucked up. I was smoking weed. I was coming in all time of night.
Smoking pot.
Yep, boy, I was tearing it up too, boy. That's what I was doing, man. And so when I started really looking at, okay, shit, I'm out here, I'm homeless, I'm sleeping up under the bridge. Dude just stole my clothes. I was going for my job interview, and when I started really blaming myself, man, that's when things started. It started turning around. My whole life, when I started actually taking my own responsibility instead of trying to blame them. And it's crazy, man. Now, my parents, we're even closer now than we were before all that mess happened. We closer now. And had they not have put me out, I'd have probably been, in jail with all the other criminals.
Beta males.
I'd have been up in there with them, man. So I see where you're going with this, man. I get it, because I don't like to see guys, man, that's with their girls. I'm like, dude, me and my buddy hanging out. Well, man, my wife told me, or my girl told me I can't buy any more hats. What you mean she told you? Shit, it's your money.
Beta male.
Buy what you want to buy. Well, she told me I'm on hat patrol. Hat patrol? What the hell is that? I said, man, if you want a hat, just buy a fucking hat. He said, what, your girl don't tell you how much money to spend? Hell no. She don't tell me shit. Look, no. I'm in charge of the money. I'm in charge of the money. Okay? I'm in charge of the business. Okay? I'm in charge of all of that. And my girl know, man, when we talking, if I'm talking to a man about business, she don't say that, man. But that's how it's supposed to be. When two men talking, the woman's supposed to sit back and know her damn level. That's just what it is. It's not me being sexist. And I have to tell women this all the time. Well, and some women snap, why you don't let her talk? I do let her talk. She can talk to you. She just ain't talking to other men when we doing business. That's just how it is. That's just what it's supposed to be. I taught the head of the household is the guy. That's who you run the house. If your household ain't got no money in it, that's your damn fault. And you ain't a man, you need to go do something about it. Okay? You need to work.
I'll challenge you to do this. Read Proverbs 31 and then tell me about that woman.
What woman? My woman?
In Proverbs 31. It talks about the virtuous woman. She's out doing business too.
Man, even without reading that, I'll tell you about that man. He's a beta.
No,
I'm talking about the thing of it is, man, when you conducting business with another man, your woman shouldn't be interrupting you.
Yeah.
She shouldn't be doing any of that, man. She's supposed to sit back and know her level, man. Look, her job is to go, be support for the kids or whatever. But should no woman be interjecting business when a man talking business? She shouldn't interject. She should be quiet. Even if she disagree, that man got to handle business. Okay, that's just what it is. Because you let her get in there and handle business, man. That's why I'm always talking about, saving my money, man. Could you imagine, man, if I gave my woman free reign to do whatever we wanted with the money? We wouldn't have any damn money. We wouldn't have any money.
Different situations for different people. I think my wife had her career and she made her own money. I had my career and I made my own money. We pull it together. We pull it together for common
He's a
things.
beta.
And she's actually better with her money than I am with mine. So,
I don't know, man. I trust my woman. I trust my girlfriend, but nah, I'm not about to let her give her free reign to the checkbook, man, so I can go broke.
No, I have my own money and I control my own money. We pull money and she has her money and she does with it what she pleases. She makes it.
He's a beta.
See, you get to the point, man. I'm not saying that women have to run around here and be like totally submissive, but submissive to the point where if I do something is not as heightened because I've already taken care of everything at home like I'm supposed to. And so if she disapproves of something, it's not as bad. The arguments, they don't last but a couple of minutes because she's happy. You doing what you're supposed to be doing at home, and take the pressure. See, your woman ain't supposed to have no pressure, man. When you doing stuff, even when I'm talking about new clients at my gym, if I'm talking the business part of it, she be quiet. All she do, she come in, she help, she register people. But if it's business and I'm negotiating, like this is what your yearly fee gonna be, she gotta keep her mouth shut, man. She can't say nothing because I'm negotiating it, and that's we've been together for a long time, but that's how we've done it. And she don't have no problem with it, man. She don't have no problem, but you gotta be like that.
Well, you touched on something important. If a man's doing what he's supposed to be doing, it's a lot easier for a woman to be submissive because then she trusts you.
Like I get turned and I tell y'all this when I see people. Okay, if I see a family and they signing up, to get some training, I always ask, where the daddy at? Let me speak to your husband. Oh well, he not here. Oh well, where he at? Well, he at work. And I'm more of the stance like, listen, let me get in here. Let's I'll talk to you today, but let's get him in here because next time I see this person, I want to see your husband. Okay, I want to see. And if she ain't with no husband, and if she ain't got no man, I kind of let my girl do the business with the women that ain't got husbands because I know that they gonna get into their little feelings and if I tell them that no, you can't have this. Nope. I'm not giving you a 2-for-1 special. It's because I'm working. You ain't paying me twice as much to work twice as hard. So no. Say they get in their feelings about that. My girl can say that better. But nah, if they got husbands and the husband don't say nothing, I totally disregard her and I talk to him. I do that, and it make him mad, but I don't give a shit because the man's supposed to be taking care of the business. He's supposed to be talking to me, not her. And I guess it sounds messed up, man. It do, but that's
No, that's not messed up because that's your business. The woman in Proverbs 31 has her own business going as far as selling, as far as taking care of her family. Now, I challenge you to read the whole of Proverbs 31. Let me know what you think of it.
okay. I mean, I read it just for you.
All right, guys.
We'll talk about it later.
Full time got stuff to do, man.
No, I was gonna say, man, it's been a great conversation. I enjoyed it. We can have it again anytime. I'm always down. Maybe next time it'll be on the my work hours are changing, so maybe not the Mobcast, but this weekend, next weekend, I'm always down. Thank you guys for coming on. It's been a productive conversation, and to everybody listening, thank you all for listening to the channel, listening to the show, and hopefully you guys learned something and this was a productive conversation for everybody out there. That being said, man, it is what it is. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Dennis. Thanks, chat. I'm out. Full-time family, know what you think in the comments. Don't be a beta.
All looks good.